We said it yesterday, we say it today. From 0-1 to 0-2. The scoreline between these two teams in the VCT circuit. But can they make that third time the charm there, Black and Blue? That's going to be a burning question here for Bren Esports. Or will PaperX dominate yet again and show us what PRX is all about? The best representation of SEA, that mixed roster, not only from the FYS Euro scene, but also from the Indonesian one as well. Really goes to show for PRX, they're that full package, that they are ready to go and they are ready to play their hearts out here against Bren Esports, as we are going to be getting into bind. And here we go as we get into the round. First things first to notice here, Black and Blue. Finally, it's not going to be a mirror matchup between these two teams. It's going to be, of course, distinct flavors here for Bren Esports and PRX. And I love this here for Bren because we're going to see Wits play a Phoenix. When was the last time we've seen him on that one?
I love it. I love it coming here from Bren Esports. They're really pushing the Filipino brand of Valorant with this Raze and Phoenix lineup. But let's go straight into it as Bren are really pushing their favor into the A site itself. Flash on out. Forsaken is going to get caught off guard by Wits himself as the U-Hauls the lamps. Control has been seized and taken. Wits out in the open, still lands a second right click on the Devi, and that are the two big time hitters taken off of the board early on from PaperX.
Yeah, double duelist there on the Bren Esports side. They do have that Sova. In the meantime, though, for the defensive, it's going to be that Viper, going to be that Sage. The Vido has already fallen. Jesse Bash in the meantime with a takedown there on the Mind Freak. And here comes Wits with 4 kills to his own. Selfishness for the Phoenix in terms of the kit, but Bren Esports very happy to have Wits ready to go and get those takedowns. 4 kills there for Wits from the get-go, and Bren takes the pistol here versus PaperX.
I really love this decision from them. You saw that even though they had most of the control of short there, they did not try and force the plan. They knew that they wanted to win the gunfights first and foremost before even trying to attempt that, but we never even got there because Wits just found all the picks that they needed. Wits coming to this roster, he was the latest addition to this, but he was a legend, a star in the Philippine FPS scene in his own right. A time where before Valorant, he was the best player in the Philippines when it came to CS, and once again he's making a stock to even claim that here in Valorant as well. But the opening pick from Devi is going to come in huge. This is where PaperX are so deadly.
Yeah, just some Devi intervention there very quickly from the sky. And he is incredible on that agent, especially with those guiding lights later on. Dispenser, though, catching out the vibe, but Shiba piling in the pressure, and PaperX, you can see that they are oozing with confidence right now in this series. Willingness to peek there with the classics, go for the push and get that takedown. Borkum, though, searching, hunting, but has to reload in front of Bentai, who does get the takedown. Forsaken on the board as well. And we say this a lot about PaperX. It doesn't matter about what guns they have, what arsenal they have in their bags, in their pockets. They can still get the kills anyway. And now as Shiba has this Vandal in hand, Dubstep inside the container, though, playing it safe and sound. Spike is planted, 1v4 situation. And what can Dubstep do against the onslaught of PaperX?
All he's got is that Spectre. And PaperX have been so good in these low eco situations, and Forsaken's gonna find the pick off there to close off the round. These PRX come back on a thrifty one to make things happen after the opening pick from Devi. These guys, man, you put some pistols in their hand, they're going to make a case for it even being the better weapon over the rifle. The classics, they are the maestros of making it happen. We've seen, you know, players like Mind Freak here, players like Devi make so much work, and Shiba, Benkai, all of them making it work when it comes to just having pistols in hand, and that's a good case for it right there, right in front of you. Bren Esports, now they're the ones forced on the eco.
Yeah, on-rails action there from Bren Esports, but a few fundamental errors, especially, unfortunately, for Borkum. Reloading in front of Benkai, just unable to secure that kill. Allows PRX, you give them a moment's notice, they will take you down as hastily as possible. So we are all tied up in the scoreline, but this is a big advantage here for PaperX. They stole that second round away from Bren. They have the guns in hand, and what's scarier than PRX Econ? Well, it is PaperX Arsenal's full buys instead. Two of them here with rifles, actually. Black and Blue. 3 with Spectres. 4 now. Not the biggest buys expect here for PaperX, but Bren Esports still trying to contend. Dubstep there with a takedown off the Mind Freak. Benkai Forsaken on the board, but Dubstep, he gets 2 so far, and he's feeling it. He's feeling confident here, Black and Blue. Benkai, though, backs on the way. Wits now going for the run back. He'd love to at least try and make a pickoff happen. He's also at 6 HP, can get that insta-heal as soon as he dies the first time. spike though isn't planted yet, and Dispenser, oh, he's stuck there in the corner. Wits now taken down by the Vi.
The Vi has been finding these huge, amazing picks and high value ones at that here for the side of Paper X time and time again. We saw him doing on Ascent yesterday, and he's doing it here on Bind to hold down the A side with Bankai and Devi. Both of them eye-to-eye connection, landing the shots and getting the second round on the board for Paper X. But Bren, now this is their opportunity to maybe come back after losing the second round. Can definitely be painful, sometimes even more so than losing the opening pistol. So they do have some money to buy up on this time, but Bren Esports, they're going to have to make it work. Their double duelist composition kind of infers to me, Dax, that they really want to bring the heat here in more ways than one.
I mean, that's what the Phoenix is all about, but also you have that raise, and you can just flush out corners like the Cubbies, like the Hookahs, and make sure PRX cannot stay in those angles. But PRX, they're gonna try something different, and Forsaken is on the operator. Now, Forsaken is an incredible player, but when you compare his Jet to his raise, obviously his Jet is the one that goes above and beyond those expectations. Good call, though, for Paper X. Still to play the raise on a map like this, they desperately need it in this scenario for Bind itself. And Forsaken, he's going to be a stellar shot regardless of the agent he's on. And he's waiting for anyone to come. Bren Esports now waiting at the wings, playing patient, knowing that their speed here isn't going to help them out in this round. You know they have to play it smart here, Black and Blue. Wits, Dubstep, looking to play the entries on a site. Spiko has been left behind. Forsaken now trying to gather some intel. And as Dispenser peaks, Forsaken will get the takedown. Mindfreak on the board as well. Borkin now with the refrag, though, over onto that A side with the Vi falling. But it's still 4v3 in favor of Paper X.
Bren trying to take these individual fights on the A short and towards the fountains as well, but the waters haven't been falling their way in the meantime. Oh, Bankai, he's in a good position here, but Borkum, wiser than that, finds him. Jesse Vash will do the same towards Mindfreak to bring it to a 3v2 in their favor, and Jesse Vash in the right position there to find Shiba from hell into heaven. Forsaken operator in hand. He's got the showstopper. Not looking to want to go for it. Actually, no. He's trying to double catch him off and maybe go for the rotate here, but he's actually going to wrap back around Dubstep, realizing there might not be enough time to do that securely and safely. So try and go for the plant on the A side. There isn't much time left. Keep your eyes on that. 4 seconds left. The showstopper is going to end things, but no! Borkum! Quick shots to secure the round. And Bren Esports, they tie the game up 2-2.
It's just that audio cue. As soon as Bren Esports hears the showstopper, hears the blast back, it's already Borkum knowing to keep an eye out on that APC. And that's just as easy as 1, 2, 3 for him to get that takedown. Forsaken, though, making that operator count early on. But Bren Esports going for that A take immensely. Dubstep, he tried, he ran for it, and he wanted to get in cover. But luckily for the raise of Bren Esports, you have Borkum there to protect him and protect the round for their side. So it's 2-2 now. We are all tied up yet again, and this is the matchup that we expect from these two teams. Remember map number 1 and map number 2 of Bren and Paper Rex in the upper bracket finals. That was the standard they were playing on. That was the standard of how close these two teams can be. The question now is, will Paper Rex be able to dominate yet again, similar to that map number 3 last time, or will Bren Esports have the answer this time and just keep on competing in the series? In this round, though, it's PRX on the board there with 2. Good start here for Paper X. Wits and Dubstep do go down. And without the duelists here, Black and Blue, there isn't that sudden impact here from Bren Esports.
They've been really good at trying to shut down the opening initiations coming here from Bren Esports on their duelists. Now, Mindfreak, they're on the shoulder peak. Let's get some information. Borkum, be careful here as Mindfreak is also trying to spam him out. Bankai, rather, and he's going to find that frag. And so Jesse Vash will get the trade off in Mindfreak for the meantime, but they're pushing this very heavy-handedly. Jesse Vash, he's not going to be able to stop him from doing what he wants. And Forsaken, throwing him out to the wings. It's all on the Dispenser. He's going to need a 4K to make this happen. They now know where he is. You can expect that Forsaken is probably going to peek him from that shower's position. Viper wall is up. He's completely blind. And so he will be taken down as such. 2-3. Paper Rex take the lead back once again.
In the round, get those initial pickoff. That's exactly what Paper Rex wants to do to get that advantage and go for more. They're just able to snowball out of control, and Bren Esports, they are just caught in that avalanche. That has been the PRX way. They can be so dominant. They can just be so forceful in a round itself. And many a time we've seen Paper Rex just decide to take the reins of a game and run away with it. Bren, all about that control, all about keeping an eye out on the PRX defense, And as Dubstep opens his eyes there versus Shiva, gets that takedown. He doesn't check to the left, and Forsaken will be there to catch him and get that kill.
Forsaken, he's been doing such a good job here, but he's gonna find another pick-off. Wits will be the one going down. Pistols abound for Bren Esports, and they have not been able to make those weapons sing to the same tune that PRX have been on these eco rounds. Defy, he's been such an incredible player too, completely turning them around, and now it's all on the dispenser once more to make things happen. He's been on that lurk game for the most part here on Bind especially. Has yet to really find much value out of that as the rest of his team crumbles before he can get to help them. Got Sheriff in hand. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make this one happen. He has yet to really... Actually, the whole of Bren has yet to really make one of these clutches happen against Paper Rex here in this matchup today, but we're only in the round 6, and so all hope is not just lost yet. Spencer, if he can get a kill here, then he should have his ultimate coming to the next round, and Bren Esports are going to have a lot to play in for contention. He does find that pick off on a Forsaken, which is a big pick off for him, but the spike is all the way here towards Long, and when he does cross, Devi should have his number. Although Dispenser, we know he's really good at these situations. Finds the information. Devi now spotted out, almost wins the fight, and he will. Devi will get the third kill of the round for his sake, and Paper Rex extend their lead now to 2.
Yeah, Devi, they're having Dispenser's number, and if you actually know a bit of the history between these two players, Devi has always been a thorn on the side of Dispenser in terms of that gameplay. Back in the CS days, they would compete against each other, and here and now in Valorant, it's the same old case. And it's a bit of a problem actually for Dispenser, with Paper Rex knowing especially how he plays that Sentinel role, how he plays in general. It does feel like that's when this player can get neutered on the side of Bren Esports. And it's interesting, right? Because for Bren, they have this distinct playstyle, unique from one another, but they all coalesce to make it one beautiful Bren casserole. But at the same time, if Paper Rex knows how to dismantle those pieces one by one, bit by bit, and really isolate and eradicate the opposition, it feels like that's where PRX can destroy the Bren Esports teamwork framework. But here we go, Dispenser now catching out Shiva off to a good start. Devi now gonna get caught out by Dispenser, getting retribution from the previous round. And then Forsaken now playing the teleporters. We do get some backup alongside him with Mindfreak there as well. But Forsaken, he catches out Dubstep. Dubstep though from the grave, killing Mindfreak with the Page Shells. But it's still 4v2 here in favor of Bren Esports. Now then, Forsaken tried to get to the hookah, but Dispenser still waiting, watching, and getting another takedown. Everything left to Benkai now.
Well, he goes down to Martyr at the very least there, Dubstep. Able to bring down one with him to the grave. He shall remain. It's all on the Benkai, who's been very, very keen on these clutches. Him and Shiba have been doing so much when it comes to these 1vx situations for Paper Rex, but Dispenser will not let it get out of hand. He has been in those 1vx situations 2 times in a row now, 2 rounds in a row, but this time he gets a quad kill for himself. Get that confidence under his wings, because this man is going to start to take off if you let him. Getting the third round now here. He's got 6 on the board for himself. Bren Esports got the lead down to a single digit. And if they can win this round, then Paper Rex are going to be in an economic situation that is quite unfavorable. They're going to have to go on the eco buy. And at that point, Bren can start to take the lead. But they need round number 8 to make that happen.
I mean, the biggest deal right now is how more of a team Bren Esports looks compared to the upper bracket finals. In their matchup initially versus Paper Rex, it did feel like for many a time there that it was the Dubstep show, where Dubstep was just carrying his team and more, getting multiple takedowns. But now, Bren Esports, the takedowns are scattered on the round, everyone pulling their weight and more, making sure that this is going to be a Bren Esports 5v5 versus Paper Rex. And it has helped them out immensely to keep the scoreline close for Paper Rex. Now they're going to be playing the aggression here on the defense. They're pushing through that B main. Is Jesse Bastion Wits still on the board? Devi in the meantime catching out Wits, but Dubstep does find the answer. And Borkum now playing patiently. Shiva and Devi were not ready for Borkum at all. And that's his time. That's his hunting ground. And Bren Esports are able to equalize.
That is what they are so good at, Bren Esports, when, you know, initially they kind of were going a bit more aggressive and they realized, okay, it isn't working out, and that recognition is a hallmark of a good team. And so they're like, okay, let's try and play things a bit more passively. Let's kind of bait Paper Rex to want to make a play themselves, and that they did, that they shall, but that we will not let them successfully complete. And so, great reception on that push from Bren, from the side of Paper Rex. When Paper Rex pushing that short side, they were like, okay, so all we gotta do is wait now, pull out the Hunter's Fury, and try and punish the aggression here. Basically, in fighting game terms, that was a whiff punish if anything. But Dubstep, he's not gonna win the fight versus Shiba. Somehow across all of that, he still wins it, and Bankai as well. Man, Paper Rex is so good on these eco rounds, Dex.
That's the thing. No matter what, Paper Rex can compete. Bren Esports pretty much the same thing. Forsaken though now with a showstopper. But you have to look at these rounds in a round-for-round basis. There's always a possibility for either Paper Rex or Bren Esports to take it away from the opposition. And PRX are proving it now. This is an eco round. As you mentioned, it's 3v2 though in favor of Paper Rex. Jesse Vash though, he's stepping on up. And Benkai will go down. 2v2 right now with caught in the crossfire. And it's up to Vash here, but Forsaken! Just all hail Forsaken. Again, and again. Always lethal, always accurate. And it feels like he's just gotten out of that shadow. He's made a name for himself. And how many times do I have to say it? He always gets double-digit kills in a map here in the playoffs. And he's already there after these rounds. Black and Blue, 13 kills for Forsaken.
He shall never falter. Forsaken himself keeps everything going for Paper Rex, even when all hope seems lost. But great opening picks once again from Shiba and Bankai. They've been so good on these eco rounds, just landing their shots, and they know how to play the pace. It seems like when the going gets tough, Paper Rex gets rough, but Dispenser finding the frag here on the Shiba. A great retaliation from him coming from the previous round, and now Bren Esports do have that one-man advantage, but still, the discipline for them to try and take things slowly. Forsaken is pushing all the way from behind him. I'm not sure if you're going to catch him out, but Bankai shutting Dubstep down in the air like Duck Hunt, not even letting him to stick the landing. The flash coming out from Witz. He's got the ultimate out here, but not finding much just yet.
There we go. Lockdown now going to be the call. We have the Nast Swarm into play. Bren Esports, so in the meantime, you looking for that space and more. But Paper Rex, they're breathing on the other side of the wall, but they do have to respect that Dome of Doom, and they have to get on away. Benkaido, unfortunately, he will get detained there. Dispenser now looking to hunt down anyone who still has their hands up. But the Vi, smart play there with Trailblazer, at least fending off the opposition for now. Mind Freak, though, keeping an eye out. Borkum now will get spotted! And just a Mind Blower there from Mind Freak. That's going to be the first one for the side of PRX on this retake. Wits in the meantime by the lamps. And Bren Esports trying to keep an eye out. But Benkai from above. Jesse Bash will go down. And Device looking to play this lamps part here. Mr. Black and Blue, he wants to go on in. But Dispenser will deny him. 2v2 now. Benkai, though, with 3 so far. Dispenser with 3 as well. And it's going to be mono-y-mono. Who can stand tall and proud? It's Dispenser getting the quad. Throwing Paper X away in this round. And here we go. It's another tied scoreline. This is the Bren and Paper Rex experience that we know, love, and expect in a matchup like this.
This is Dispenser having himself a jolly good game, because this is the thing about both of these teams, Dax. Bren Esports and Paper Rex, they're all a all-star lineup. On the side of SGMY representing different regions, you got Indonesia representation from that side too, and Paper Rex from that organization, and from Bren Esports, all from the Philippines, but all 5 of them are legends in their own right, and they all banded up because they knew that they were buried together more than anything. And so making that look real for the meantime. Paper Rex on an eco situation here, kind of a mixed buy. They got like maybe what, 2 real rifles on it. They got the Guardian, they got Shotty too on Mind Freak, and Benkai's got Spectre to bring into it. So they're gonna have to take some close range engagements. Forsaken though, taking down to 5 HP. A single bullet will do him on in, but this Viper's Pit holding on by Bankai can be detrimental. Dubstep trapped between a rock and a hard place here right now, but the Witch is gonna try and buy him out to some safety. Bankai winning that fight though, still somehow Dubstep not landing the shot. They brought it to a 4v4 with Witz very low. He can heal himself back up there with a wall of his own, but Shiba is in good position to punish all of this.
Oh, Shiba, and there you go. The punishment is real, and Wit's gonna get clocked there. Fine pickoff by the Sage from above, and Paper Rex. They know how to impose here, Black and Blue. When Bren Esports is stuck like this, when they are cornered, that's when Paper X can get on the hunt and go for those takedowns. And now, easiest pie here for the Vi. He finds Jesse Vash busy with the bow and arrow, gets that takedown. Dispenser and Borkum, though, they are navigating through that B side, so good rotation from Bren Esports. But still, Paper X, they know how to get in the way. No matter what. That's one of the biggest things. They know how to be a stopgap method. They know how to be that toll gate that Bren Esports cannot clear. And now Borkum looking to go for the plant, but in this situation, it's still PRX with the numbers advantage and with the rifles in hand.
2v4. Mind Freak has that Cosmic Divide too, but I don't think they're necessarily going to have to use it here. It's on the Dispenser and Borkum to make it happen. These two legends of their own respective scenes has tried and time again made it work. Borkum's going to get the one pick off here, but Devi is going to shut it down, not letting him get any more. And so will Dispenser be taken down by Forsaken himself. 6-5, Paper Rex. We're going to another almost even scoreline into the second half as we move into the final round of the first half. It seems like Bren Esports are maybe looking to tie this game up 6-6. This is exactly what happened on the opening map of the last series when these two played against each other in the upper brackets yesterday, Dax. We had like another 6-6 going to that first half, and then on the second map we were like at a 7-5, so nobody truly running away with the match just yet. But Bren, they're in a kind of an eco situation here. They have been thrifty in the past too.
And that's why the title of King of SEA is contestuous here. Bren Esports and Paper Rex, they keep it neck and neck multiple times. And it really feels like that was just that one outlier last time with Paper Rex so dominant and Bren Esports faltering at the seams. But now we are back into the true experience between these two teams. And this is going to be some beautiful Valorant here from SEA. But here we have it, 4v4 scenario. And Devi with the Devi flash yet again. Wit's not going to be able to get taken down there. But Dubstep with the judge. Devi, though, he's been incredible with those guiding lights multiple times. One of the best we've seen in the SEA region. And Dubstep now playing the guest game, and Shiba gonna get caught in the crossfire inside that nebula. It's gonna be a Sage falling on down. Mindfreak falls as well. And now it's all up to Benkai. 3v1 scenario. The barrier orb in the way. This time, Bren Esports set up with their fortifications. And here we go again, Black and Blue. Such a particular scenario where we can get tied up yet again.
Benkai. He's in 1v3. Information has been given away. He knows Jesse Vache is, who almost gets caught out on that rotation, trying to fall back. Phantom retrieve, but he's going to have to find a few spirits here to make dead. He gets Borkum through the wall, who was already low in the first place, but he found the head. Now Borkum's dead. 1v2. Benkai, he has to go for this. It's the final round of the first half. He knows he has to push. The spike is planted out in the open. Benkai on top of the tube here. And Jesse Vash will show him how to get down. 6-6, and they tied the game all on up. It initially seemed like, I was kind of wondering, like, why did they send Dispenser, who only had the Sheriff, alone to try and take Hukum by himself? And it seems like the story there was, when you send like 4 people up long and trying to take Octagon like that, typically you're kind of planting for elbow. And that's exactly what they went for. Go for that elbow control, recede Hookah, because if you don't want it, then you don't need it. And that worked out for them. So good push there. A bit of kind of lucky at the same time heads up play from Dubstep to fire his showstopper into the smoke where Shiba's watching and waiting. And he found the pick off of that. And now we're going up again. Everybody's game, anybody's game going into the second half.
I mean, we're all tied up. It's just basically a hard reset, but with the side swaps. But besides that, we saw the Paper Rex intimidating presence. We saw the Bren Esports heads-up play. And overall, the strengths right now of these two teams are highlighted by their playstyle so far. But Dubstep, he wants to play it in the front line. Shiba jump peeking just to get a bit of that intel. Figure out who's here on this side. But Shiba moves a little bit to the right. A little more than he should have. Does get clocked there by the headshot. Luckily for him, he does survive and can heal himself up. But now they know that Dubstep is there on A site, and Paper Rex, they might want to use that intel to move accordingly.
Paper Rex, the indomitable monsters of the Southeast Asia region, have been swimming across every single sea they come to. Just eating everybody alive one step at a time. But Paper Rex, rather Bren Esports, they're not going to want to fall to that same fate a third time around in their series. These two teams, they've been neck and neck yesterday. And well, during the Sea Challengers 2, Paper Rex did send them down to the lower bracket. This is not something that Bren Esports want to make happen a third time. Could be the charm for them, but Bren taking things slow, biding their time. You can see this 3-player split that Paper Rex have got here towards his hookah position, but they're looking to go for the plant on the A side, which Bren Esports have stacked on the defensive side. The Viper Wall will give him some concealment, but even with that, they teleport out into safety to try and go into that B side push, where Bren Esports are going to fully rotate to try and retrieve and back up the site. Dispenser, though, he's been so good in these situations, Zach. He's waiting and waiting.
Dispenser patience now, and Shiba gonna get caught, and he can't put that spike down at the last moment there. Paper Rex now, they need to get the kills in fast, but Bren Esports, all they need to do is run on the way, hide at the sides, and that is gonna be enough. Again, Bren Esports at the nick of time able to clutch it out there, and then well played there by Bren Esports. Just finding the right pickoff at the right moment, and Shiba, he must have assumed that he would have gotten that spike plant, and it looked to be a sure thing. But no, Bren, they give Paper X basically a taste of their own medicine. Jesse Vash, right place, right time. And this guy's just inspired. It's been, I think, a decade since he's going to Europe. And with Bren Esports securing that slot to Berlin as well as Paper X, it does feel like for Bren Esports right now, there is that extra bit of positive motivation. But we're not done just yet. And Paper X, we've seen it multiple times. These pistols, they're quite a powerful punch here from PRX, and many a time from PRX, especially from the likes of Mindfreak and Forsaken. They're the guys who can get those eco kills very, very quickly. Dispenser, though, keeping an eye out, sees Forsaken there, but he has to back on away, and Forsaken with a punish. Seems like now PRX back on the board.
Forsaken, man, he's so good, and so are Paper Rex when it comes to these ecos. Earlier on, Bren Esports, they won the opening pistol round of the first half, but then subsequently lost the second round wherein Paper Rex were on that eco. Can they make it happen once more? For the most part, it has been true. Here coming from inside Paper Rex time and time again. Forsaken finding a second, and they're looking to make that dream into a reality with, gonna try and hold on here, but he will pull out the flash. Mindfreak on the trade. He's picked up the Spectre that was dropped earlier on inside Hookah itself, and they will get the plant down now. In a 2v4, they both have Spectres in their hands, but so do Paper Rex, 2 apiece. Sheriff on bound. They're going to have to try and win these 1v1 fights somehow. Dubstep crawling in. He's not going to expect Mindfreak here. Mindfreak is by all means going to shut him down. He will get a pick off himself, Dubstep, but will it be enough to secure the dub here for Borkum, who is in a 1v3? Trying to fix that he's jumping down here from the side of Hookah itself. He will try and crawl his pace up very closely. He will not be able to find the frag, though, at the end of it, as Benkai will secure the round, and Paper X once again come back on the second round of the half.
They just steal it away one more time, and the Paper Rex show continues on. When you have the pistols in their hands, they're as powerful as rifles, and when they have the rifles, well, they're even more powerful than before. That's what PRX does. They upgrade their guns just by their natural skill, and now we are all tied up yet again, 7-7. This is a good sign here for Paper X. One of the best things that Bren Esports can build on is that momentum. We saw it there versus Alter Ego in the lower bracket finals. We saw it there from Bren Esports against every other team besides Paper X. And even in that map that Bren Esports won against Paper X, as Dubstep hounds Benkai and takes him down. That's what Bren Esports is looking for, that win streak. But Paper X doing a good job to mitigate that approach and just keep taking rounds away from Bren Esports. But now, will the Thrifty be on the other foot as Dubstep gets to so far? He's low though on the HP. We already get Mindfreak here infiltrating onto a side. But while we get the barrier orb there to try and get in the way of the market front, it's Mindfreak now getting rid of Borkum. 1 HP though, and a dream. Can he get one more kill? Not gonna happen. Dubstep with 3 kills so far. Rifles now able to get picked up as well as Spectres. And Bren salvaging some guns here from the fallen of PRX.
They're taking the page out of the Paper Rex book here. For them to go on the initiative, they're going the aggressive, even though they are in the lower economic situation. I think that was the right decision to make. Shiba finds a pick off here in the Dubstep. Recon Bolt will give away the position to Shiba, but he's still going to win the fight. Nonetheless, Jesse Vash in a 1v2. He finds a pick off and he finds a second. Jesse Vash, time and time again, he's having himself a field day. And he gets the third round of the half for Bren Esports.
It's a good omen when Jesse Vash is popping off for Bren. Honestly, Vash is an incredible player. We say it, especially on the assist front, on the lineups, but he's not the loudest shooter of Bren Esports. He's not the one who frags out immensely compared to the rest of the roster. But if he's popping off, then Bren Esports gonna happy to have that extra hot gun in their arsenal. PRX though, they did fight on back with Shiba. Beautiful triple kill there from the stage. But Jesse Vash, so secure, so sure, so Vash, so good. And it really feels like Father Time is not going to be able to catch up with Jesse Vash anytime soon. One of the oldest esports players of the Philippines. And even in Valorant, he is making waves in the international scene. But we gotta say it again and again. Round per round action here, Black and Blue. It doesn't matter that Bren won that last round because Paper X, they do have some guns, and some guns is enough to beat Bren Esports if ever.
Yeah, like, they made it happen without any rifles on their board, so does it really matter now that they only have 3 of them? Borkum, though, finds that kill on the Benkai, which is a huge pick. Benkai, he's been a rock here. He's been the glue for Paper X, honestly. keeping them together, and he's been finding so much value out of his positioning, but this time for him to go down early. Paper Rex, that is a big pick-off for them to get dubstep in return. Wits is going to shut down Forsaken, trying to peek from short. Those are two big picks from the side of Bren Esports. They have this 5-3 lead. They're trying to aggress here. Wits, even though they have the advantage, he's still wanting to make a play with his ultimate. Devi will shut that down for the meantime, but reconnaissance will give them away. The flank here, though, from Dispenser. This is where he's so deadly. On that Killjoy, he gets a lot of free reign of what he wants to do. And with that, he's going through the cave zone, not going through short itself. Gonna take the long route here, but the destination is one in the same. Borkum not able to find the pick-off, but Wits is there for the trade.
Yeah, and there we have it now, as Paper Rex going to be going over to B site with a spike, and Devi will be flanking the Lurk instead. Lurk perhaps, Wits though does get taken out by the Guardian. And Devi there tapping down the head of the Phoenix. Dispenser, can he lurk against Devi? Eventually, he makes the access happen, and that journey of Dispenser, he makes it with a backstab, and he makes it happen by that A side. But we move the action to be here, Black and Blue. And Shiba now caught between two of Bren Esports. Can Shiba actually hold the line? Jesse Bash will deny him there. But as Bren Esports will get this round, they're going to be up by 2, which is actually a big indicator of their success in this tight-knit game. But in that last round, it's intriguing because Bren Esports, you mentioned it, right? Dispenser, he was going for the lurk. But if you notice when Paper Rex was waiting, they were actually looking around for that lurk. Like Devi especially, he was checking right, he was checking the south side. And for PRX, they're so hyper aware of the possibilities. If they get stuck, they're gonna look to at least punish anyone coming in from the flanks. But that time, Bren Esports timing it right and just getting the lurk on top of the PRX lurk. It's a lurkception, but Bren Esports, they come up ahead. They get 2 rounds in a row for once in this game yet again. And now, PRX, how will they answer back here, Black and Blue?
It's been a constant back and forth between these two teams, Dax, and this is the largest lead that Bren Esports have had all game. With them not having that Sentinel here for Paper Rex, it just means that they have to keep their heads on a swivel, look over their shoulders, and not get too complacent. As Bangtai finds an opening picker on a dubstep, but Forsaken has been tagged by the Hunter's Fury. It is more powerful than your showstopper, Forsaken, as he does get the pick off and does deny that showstopper from getting much damage. But Shiba, he's got an ultimate of his own. The res coming here on Forsaken, keeping him back up online, back to 5v4, and Devi with his flashes. They're so deadly. The guiding light just showing them the way onto the plant, and that they shall do. In the 5v3, the post-plant retake here from Bren to come in.
And there he goes. Spike is planted, and Paper Rex have gotten a beautiful 8-tick now. It's such an advantage here for PRX, and Bren, yeah, they have to respect that, and they just have to back on away. So a quick PRX win. Dominance, performance, and that has been their tagline. Dominance personified. Paper Rex, truly, no way their gameplay is paper thin. It feels like they just are a cut above the rest in many, many scenarios. But at the very least, Bren Esports is a team that can contend with them so far. And we'll see if that's going to be the result here for this matchup. PRX, though, they will be just 1 behind now. And how many times do we have to say it? PRX, 1 point. That's nothing to them. Being behind, that's nothing to them. They get the attacking win. They're good to go with the rifles. And we go yet again into another round.
Another round here for Paper Rex, taking it back, and no team here, Bren nor Paper Rex, has let the other team get more than 2 rounds in a row. Look at that. You can see at the bottom of your screen right now exactly what I'm talking about. It's been a back and forth war here, a tug, a battle. None of them really letting things slip away, getting out of hand. Complete boxing match, if anything. This time, the boxers of the Pinoy side, Bren Esports, they're looking to make this game a bigger advantage than they already had, but Paper Rex potentially maybe being able to tie things up here. They've been able to do that time and time again versus Bren whenever they got the lead. But now with the showers control quickly seized here by Bren Esports, I like that initiative. The Paper Rex are looking for the short position instead. The lamps here. Oh, he does get the dink. The damage done on Forsaken, but not taken down. Dubstep able to find the follow-up here in the back. He finds a second frag on Shiba, and Devi will answer back as well. Forsaken, even though he's at 10 HP, not afraid to take the fight. They know Borkum here is in the showers, and on the door of the lamps itself, that is where he's going to be waiting. Excuse me, it will be Wits here in the showers itself, trying to aggress on Forsaken. The heal will come up on him, but Wits has got a different problem to deal with, and so he does. Forsaken answering back. It's a 2v3.
He just fades away with that shot. People wallbang there, but an even better refrag from Forsaken. But this is now going to be low HP state here for both Devi and Forsaken. Forsaken's already gone, and Devi has to hit that emergency escape. But Bren Esports, they do have an inkling of the PRX tendency to take that teleporter in a pinch. I guess Devi right now, since he's all alone with 10 HP, he's going to be going for the save. And Bren Esports, the question now is, can they go for the hunt? Overall, though, this matchup, black and blue. Bren, Paper Rex. Two incredible objects looking to face each other. Unstoppable force, immovable object. And in this scenario, Bren Esports will be winning the round, yes, but Paper Rex, when they get their momentum, that's when they're truly scary. And it's interesting, right? Because we talk about a lot of Bren momentum, but Paper Rex momentum, it's a little more subtle in a way. It isn't the flashiest. It just hits you, and then you're taken aback suddenly by what PRX can bring to the table. For Bren Esports, though, this time they're putting a good stop to these things. They're getting in the way of Paper Rex, and it's ironic a little bit that we're flipping the script here, that it's Bren right now stopping PRX from getting the paint train on.
Might be an immovable object. Both of these teams, as one of them are going to have to plant themselves down like a tree and say to the other, no, you move, because this is our map. For the meantime, Bren Esports, they have that 2-round lead once again. Dubstep this time on the operator. First time he's brought that out all game. This might be the chance to really make that happen. But Paper Rex, knowing that's a possibility, they try and take things a bit slower. Try and really use the information tools that they've got in their way to get all of the reconnaissance that is possible. Using the Trailblazer there for information on short. Trying to bounce out here. Dispenser finds a double like the Sentinel that he is. Holding down the line. Borkham's going to answer back. Shiba will only find one pick here for Paper Rex. And they're trying to march their way, trying to stomp their way into the site. But Witz is going to be wiser than that. Finding the pick on Mindfreak. It's all on the Devi. Here comes out one of his signature flashes. Prepping it already. With Witz on the peak. He's going to lose that fight. Devi answering back. Not letting things go out away. Once again, he was in a 1v3 the last round. So he's put himself in this position once more. But can he clutch this one out? He's got 45 seconds left on the clock. The spike is with him. If he can find the pick off here on maybe an unknowing Jesse Vash or Borkum who might not be looking his way, then this can certainly be possible. But he's going to need that pick off to even make that a potential outcome.
He didn't even need the flash. He just went for the peak anyway. But still, Bren Esports in a good spot here in 3v1. And Devi, this is the second time in a row he has to fend for himself. And Paper Rex, they're running out of rounds to give here to Bren Esports as that scoreline getting closer and closer to map point for the PH Squadron. But Devi, he does go on to the other side of the site, but Jesse Bash waiting up top the tower anyway. While Devi was aware, it's Jesse Bash who still gets the kill anyway, and Bren Esports now 3 ahead. And this is what I was talking about. This is a better showing from Bren compared to last time. It was the dubstep show before. This time, it's that concerted effort, and it really feels like that they have the kills scattered on the round. And it really goes to show that the whole team feeling very, very confident after booking their ticket to Berlin in the lower bracket finals. But for Paper Rex, it's their first game in, so maybe little bits of those warm-up blues, but it did feel like from that second round and beyond, they were already ready to compete. But here in the second half, they've ran out of steam on the attacking side. Devi, the only one who does get left behind in many of these firefights as the rest of the team falls in front of his face. And for PRX, they're going to need a little bit more of that endurance here on the attacking side, some survivability, because Bren Esports, they're just outclassing them so far in terms of those site holds.
What's been very interesting that I've been noticing from Bren Esports lately is that, you know, and everybody knows this, they've been banning Bind quite a bit. And I've always kind of found that curious because, in my opinion, even though they might not feel confident in it, they've always looked a lot better on Bind than most other maps, aside from maybe Haven and sometimes Icebox. And so it's yeah, I guess it's a 50-50 map for them, but there was a time, Dax, remember, around like maybe early stage 2, that we were kind of saying when Haven wasn't really working for Bren Esports, Bind was kind of their best map for a short while there. And so I'm curious to see that, you know, they haven't really been feeling it on their side, but, well, they might not believe it, but I do. I think Bind is a pretty good map for them, although Paper Rex have also been scary on this time and time again, so I get where that kind of, I guess, hesitation comes from.
No, for Bren Esports, I think what they usually do is they ban the map that they don't really want to play, especially against their opponent, and that's what they run with in the first place. Last time in the Alter Ego game, they banned Split, and that's actually one of their more frequent bans as well, but they can be good at Split. And if you are that PH fan, you know that for Bren Esports, every single month, it kind of changes what their favorite map is. For now, it's Haven, and honestly, it's been the longest favorite map they've had in quite a while. This has been the longest spell of it. But before it was Split, then it became Bind, now it's Haven. So it just goes to show that taste can change. And for Bren Esports, they still have that repertoire, I'd say. They still have those origins on Bind. So them picking it right now, not too surprising whatsoever, especially as Haven's not on the table. PRX in the meantime, again, we mentioned it a while ago. It's a good thing for PRX that in terms of map draft, the Haven map is gone. PRX incredible in every single map, but Haven less so, and that's where Bren Esports can take the advantage. And for Bren, they're gonna need some early maps here and now. It's still PRX who has proven to be dominant on map number 3, Icebox. It's PRX's map pick for the map number 2, Splits. And if it's gonna be, of course, a PRX win now, and then they start taking Split and Breeze and Icebox rather, they're going to see 3-0 for Paper Rex at that rate. So Bren Esports, they're putting up a very, very good fight and put themselves in a winning position here in their map pick itself, in map number 1. But as we are in a technical timeout, we're just playing the waiting game. I do gotta ask you, Black and Blue, I wonder what's the first thing these two teams will do when they get to Berlin?
Probably get some really good food. I think that's like the number one thing that you kind of do when you go to a new country for the first time, right? Or new region, new wherever you go. It's like, let me try out the local cuisine. I'm sure they've got lots of good stuff there. Really nice schnitzel, maybe some I don't know, sausages that would like bratwurst or something. That's really good, I'm sure. I mean, I wouldn't kind of doubt that. Of course, you know, being in the situation that the world is in, that might be a bit limited, but I'm sure they're gonna try and get there. So, for both of these teams, they're very excited to get to Berlin, and they've already, by all means, secured that ticket, that trip to go represent the Southeast Asian brand, the Valorant in itself. But with the biggest stage, they're on the loom, on the horizon. They're not just settling for that. Nobody here is happy with just second. Of course, they're going to try and get that Grand Finals #1 slot, the championship title in their name. And what a title it would be for either of these teams to take it against such hotly, tightly, I guess, fierce competition as each other. They can both get, if either of them can get this, and one of them will, title of that grand final slot of that Sea Challengers Stage 3 Kings of the Sea, it will be an even better cherry on top of this already great souffle that we've had from both of these teams. Yesterday, Dax, you touched on it, where the win condition for Bren Esports is really to get that map #1 when they played on Icebox, and when they didn't, it was looking quite dire, especially knowing that map #3 was Ascent. And in this case, if Bren Esports can steal this map #1, and actually, no, I don't even want to say steal, if they can win this, because I don't think either team is necessarily favored to win this map. If they can win this map here, then that is going to be a huge, huge factor for the Bren Esports comeback. Can third time be the charm between these two teams?
Man, that's the question, right? And I wonder how much experience these guys have flying all the way there in the first place. Do they have that history in the international scene? I remember I mentioned it a while ago that I believe it's been a decade since Jesse Vash has gone to Europe to compete in esports for for a certain international tournament then and there, back to his origins. But besides that, not too much. I'm not really from that CS scene, so I wouldn't know about the Bren Esports and Paper Rex side, but it really feels like I've been saying this so much about these two teams, and especially Paper Rex, actually. When I first saw Paper Rex, I said, this squad is world-class. They came in as a unit from CS to Valorant. They have made that single change to put Shiba into the roster. Besides that, Paper Rex, they've been the best representation of Southeast Asia in even the most literal sense. Mixed roster, Black and Blue. When do you see a mixed roster work this well? Only in Paper Rex. And not only for the SG representation, not only for the MY representation, you got the Indonesian representation as well. And they still make it work. No matter what, they have all that support and more. And Paper Rex, truly, they took that first seed, the first slot rather, for good reason yesterday, and they're trying to prove it today, yet again, against Bren Esports. If you look at the record so far, yes, Paper Rex does have the advantage, but it feels like this is going to be the series that will define what the next age of SEA is. Is this going to be the Paper X Empire next? Or will this be the Renaissance? I gotta ask you, Black and Blue, because we've gone and past the AHQ versus AAA days. We've had the extended eras as well. But now, what's the next chapter here for SCA as we're waiting for this game to start again?
Well, both of these teams are carrying very similar sides of the C flag when it goes into Masters Berlin, right? For the side of Paper Rex, you've got basically the best foot that Southeast Asia can put forward in the international scene. You have that mixed representation, players from different regions, from different respective cuts and areas of the Southeast Asian region as a whole. And so in many ways, you know, they are like Southeast Asia as a team put together and trying to make things happen. But that is what they represent, okay? The best foot forward of Southeast Asia. That's Paper Rex. But what Bren represent here is that hometown hero dream, that one endemic group that are all from the same I guess, backstory. They all got the same history. They're all from just one region, one specific country. They're all from the Philippines. You're Bren Esports. And this would be true for no matter which other team came in. If it was BAM here, if it was Full Sense here, for that 5-man lineup to be from one specific region, they are that hometown dream that they represent, not just for the Philippines, but for any other team here in the C Challengers who are looking to make a name for themselves, ones that didn't have mixed rosters of international fame, ones that came from maybe other shooters, or ones that maybe came from Valorant itself, endemic to the VCT brand and starting it through the VCT program itself. Now, Bren Esports, you know, these players, they've been in big situations time and time again. Wits, Borkham, Dispenser, Dubstep, they've played abroad. They have played in international tournaments as well. They have done that here all across Asia. But they have yet to really do that in Europe, in Berlin, the grand stage, the biggest region of all when it comes to FPS. Let me tell you, following FPS all my life, there was one region cut above the rest. Maybe in other shooters, or in other titles rather, like MOBAs or such, it could be Korea. It could be some of these other regions. But in FPS, Europe was the defining region. There was nothing better than Europe up until Valorant. Now we finally get something else. NA seems to be the best right now, but it's C who are living that dream and trying to make things happen. That underdog story is what is working for Southeast Asia right now. And for Bren, they are the full embodiment of that coming into this match versus Paper X. And so, Dax, you're asking me what brand of Valorant do these two teams bring into Berlin? Well, that's a C brand. We have many faces, but we're all together. Brothers in arms, camaraderie prevails.
You know, Black and Blue, I'm happy that you have so many answers for me. You're like an encyclopedia for the parts of the shooter scene that I have no idea about. So we don't need to talk about freezing bread in the, you know, in the refrigerator. At
true.
least, you know.
Or
that's true.
these spices that we got in the market itself.
You know, just the herbs and spices there. But this match, it has been close. It has been very, very close. Paper X again, no matter what arsenal they have, lethal. Bren Esports in the meantime, riding high, flying high, and just looking to basically be the Bren Esports that we know and love compared to yesterday. And if both teams are confident, both teams are ready to go, then everything should be fine and dandy for the whole matchup in itself. We are going to get a competition from these two teams. We are going to get the fight. And many of us here in the casting side, we expect this to go the distance, to go all 5 maps between Bren Esports and Paper Rex. And when it's up to these teams to give us the show, to give us those plays, and to just give us the experience that SEA has to offer. Come on, like, SCA, it's slept on too many times already. And anyone who watches some of these games, they'll be criticizing things like, you know, SCA is not going to get anything, SCA is not going to win. But last time in Iceland, X10 got some wins, got some dubs, and the thing is, SCA is growing, getting better, putting their best foot forward and moving forward as a region. So I wouldn't be too surprised yet again for us to be that sleeper region that will surprise players, surprise the foreigners, I'd say, and be like, oh, SCA can actually be decent, especially these specific people. Come on, the Patty Pan buff, everyone hyping up that guy from X10. Then I wonder if it's going to be the same experience perhaps for the likes of Forsaken, maybe the Vibe for PRX on Bren's side, Jesse Bash, Dubstep. But it just goes to show as we get back into the game, that's the action is immediately underway. Shiba there with a kill onto Jesse Bash. Dubstep though backs on out. Decides to blast back one more time to get some altitude and peek in, but Benkai says bye-bye to Dispenser, who plays that teleporter. It's 5v3. Immediately, Paper Rex off to the races and getting those takedowns.
At this point, when Bren Esports sees that the economy for the side of Paper Rex is low, they kind of have to, I think, play a bit more disciplined and play a bit back and play those trades, really, because Paper Rex, when they are in these eco situations, they just lock in and go into a different gear, and it seems so difficult for Bren Esports to really counteract at the moment, and that's how they've been keeping it close. They have yet to really lose many eco rounds in this series as Wits finds a double. As the rest of Paper X are trying to flood on into the A site itself. Shiba has been so good on finding these picks, but dubstep, lightning quick on that flick. He lands the shot, and Bankai is going to find Wits to land to get the plant. He's got the Viper Spit here. He's going to use it, utilize it to its fullest degree, and try and get him some space to work around. But dubstep, he has an operator in his hands. Not the best weapon you want to be taking into a siege, into the Viper Spit itself. Borkin's going to have to try and find his pick off here, but no, Bankai gets the kill. It's down to a 1v1, Dax.
Smart call here from Bankai. Viper Spit, especially against Dubstep right now, who has the operator. Perfect opportunity here for PRX. But Dubstep going for that fake, keeping an eye out, scoping on in. But now it's going to be the fall of the Viper Spit and the fall of Dubstep. Bankai says bye-bye to 4. And PaperX playing that tactically, playing that so smart. And surprise, surprise, I didn't even expect that Viper Spit to just dissipate like that. And Bankai took advantage of it.
Just so unpredictable Paper Rex are in these low economic situations. When the going gets tough, well, they just keep on going. Through hell, through high water, never stop. Paper Rex seems to be the motto for them. They did finally make things happen once again on an eco round. That's like, what, 3 eco rounds now that they've won? That's insane for them to be able to do that so consistently. It's been a thorn in the side of Bren Esports all day long, and well, they're only in, well, the entrance to the garden that Paper Rex is putting them in. It's not the right one.
He saw it. He sees the gun.
Barrel.
He's pinging. He's like, come on, peek him already with me. And dubstep! Exposed, spotted, isolated, taken down. He was wanted there by Paper Rex, and they will claim the bounty on that player. So it's 5v4 as Paper Rex keeps an eye open and keeps an eye out of Bren Esports and their movement around the map. They do have a chance here to go to that A site where Dispenser is waiting. But here for Bren Esports, they do have 3 ultimates here, black and blue. They have the run it back from Wits. They have that lockdown if ever for the retake of Borkum, ready with the Cosmic Divide. But speaking of the wall here, it's Mindfreak now setting up his own divide onto that A site. Beautiful stall though with the Gravity Well, and PRX are trying to rush on in, but they can't because of the utility. And as I say that, Mindfreak right now cashing out Wits. Here we go with Forsaken, turning on around to get rid of Borkum as well. And this is one of the best things Paper Rex can do. They play the angles well. Jesse Bash though, right place, right time yet again, but he can only get 1. And PRX always keeping an eye out, eyes wide open, senses tingling, and now it's a 1-round gap between these two teams.
From 3 rounds of a deficit, now cut down to just 1, and Bren Esports are in a low economic situation once again. This could easily be an 11-11, Dax, and we have yet to see a really thrifty round from Bren Esports aside from the 1 that they gave us a while ago. Well, can they make that in a 2? Can they make it happen once more? Seems like here on this hookah position, Dispenser trying to peek things out early, but Paper Rex, they're trying to go the other way around instead. Double lockdown, double rather stack on the well, lamps initially, but it seems like PRX trying to make some noise there on short, and you're going to look to try and aggress back onto the B site instead.
Yeah, and Bren has to back on away. They know that they're at that gun disadvantage, but last round, it really proves how strong PRX is, especially in those anti-lurk scenarios. Bren is a strong lurk team, but PRX, they're just so eagle-eyed in many of those situations to notice where Bren is moving on around. And that's what I said in one of those previous rounds in the first half. They're black and blue. Bren, if they time it right, they can make it work. If not, PRX will punish them. And now the punish is from Wits. He does get a takedown there onto Forsaken and uses the run it back just to survive for the round. I love that there from Wits because he knew he was caught in the blast ranges of the paint shells. And now Shiba playing up top parkour. And Wits gonna go down a second time, this time for good. Spikes planted. It's 4v3. PRX and Bren Esports showing how tactical they can be. Some smart plays from them so far. But Divide now catching out Jesse Bash. And dubstep here by the market. He's picked up a rifle, but he can't pick up a kill. Bankai there to see him and sees that it's all tied up 11-11, and we have wished for a close series. We have wished for an incredible matchup, and Bren Esports and Paper Rex do not disappoint whatsoever.
A good heads-up play there from Wits. You rarely see that. to do that so decisively, to pull out the run it back just to survive, but in the end it was for naught. There's nothing was really found out of value after that. He did go down eventually soon after, and Bren Esports now, the game is tied on up. This is pretty much do or die for them. If they lose this round, then Paper Rex are probably going to run away with things. Paper Rex, because of the 3 rounds straight that they just won, they can buy up into the next one, into round number 24, the final round of regulation. And so there is still a chance for them. Paper Rex in the better seat right now at the moment, but Bren Esports have made that magic happen. Tingling at the toes and the fingers right now as a push coming here towards the B site. Here comes the Seekers out. Showstopper will not connect on much, but that Nano Swarm is melting. Forsaken down. He's down to 75 HP. Dispenser here on the side of the elbow. Jesse Bash trying to throw his own out, but cannot land anything. The Seeker's going to tag on to him, but Dubstep's going to find the flank. He's going to find the frag on the Pine Creek as well. How does he do it time and time again? Shiba getting that kill on Dispenser. It's down to a 4v4 Dex.
Pressure there to Jesse Bash, though. The Seekers of the Vi somehow, some way getting close to him. But in the end, it's a hard reset here for both teams, as now it's going to be Paper Rex teleporting yet again and moving their location to that A site. Shower take right now, but at the same time, we already have the stations ready here for Bren. Dubstep keeping an eye out. Forsaken looking for the peak. Backs on the way incredibly. And that's one thing Forsaken does so well. If he knows that it's not going to be a one fight immediately, he backs on out. But Dubstep, this time he wins the duel against Benkai here. PRX has to respect the space that Bren Esports is buying for themselves. But Paper Rex, they're running out of time here, black and blue. And Borkum now into the corner. Forsaken will go down, and here we go again with the teleportation. Shiba with the resurrection on the Forsaken, and he does get rid of Dubstep as well. But can Paper Rex hustle to that B side? Oh no, the spike has been left behind, and now Wits keeping an eye out at the right place yet again at the right time. And that's gonna be the round there. Bren Esports, another round where they found a crucial kill, and it's just poetic, I gotta say, also for Bren, that they're winning some of these rounds in a way that they lost in that last series. They got caught in that ascent map, tried to put that spike down, and then suddenly Benkai shows up to destroy the spike placer. And in this situation, not only did we see that spike deny from Bren Esports, this time they do it even better by getting the kill right in front of the teleporter. And PRX, they committed that resurrection looking for the beat take, and then they realized that that spike was left behind. So Bren Esports now on map points. Can they get map number 1 and hold their map pick against Paper X?
They were scrambling to get into the TP, but in that chaos, the confusion setting in, they dropped the spike and didn't even realize it till it was too late going through the TP. Unfortunately for them, it's a one-way trip, and in this case, Bren Esports are a round away from taking this map and potentially getting an even bigger step closer to that grand final slot. But now here on the flank, rather on the rotation coming from Paper Rex, they keep the spike there towards the cave to make sure it's going to be safe for the meantime. Do not want to forget about it a second time. Now the flash out here on the showers. He has to know Dubstep that they are right around the corner. He's got his showstopper to apply here, and so does Borkum on his ultimate. Nobody else on either side is anywhere near close to getting their ultimates up here. Maybe if Benkai can get a triple kill, then he can get that Viper's Pit up online, but for the meantime, economy of the ultimates and abilities heavily in the favor of Bren Esports on the defensive side. BRX on this B side push, Dex.
Oh, I love that blast back hop there for the bot, but at the same time, Dispenser, he's getting vaporized inside the container with the Nano Swarm, and Forsaken gonna go for the push. Beautiful vulnerable state onto Dispenser. Forsaken will use that extra damage to get that takedown, and Shiba yet again on the high ground here, up top the barrier orb, as we get the spike planted. So it's 5v4, Bren Esports, they're down by 1, but you mentioned that they still have the ultimates into play. They can go for the Cosmic Divide, and they're gonna go for the big wall here. Now that's a curveball from Wits. Forsaken though has to back on now. Showstopper now gonna get flung perhaps. Benkai though on board to get 2 so far. And Paper X getting a big advantage here. Is this gonna be overtime for it for PRX? Are we gonna go past regulation? It's all up to Borkum. He will get 1 there against Benkai. But past that wall, there are 4 members of Paper X watching, waiting, and setting up a firing squad. We are not done with map number 1. We go into overtime. And wasn't this expected here between Bren Esports and Paper X?
Man, Paper Rex, a great push there to find the opening pick on Dispenser, but I do kind of think that was a misplay for Borkum to make the call for Borkum to go on the flank. I mean, look at where their Cosmic Divide was. It cuts off Hookah and Long. But the thing is, on the flank coming from Borkum, where are you going to come from? You're going to come from Hookah and Long. And with that Cosmic Divide in your face, how can you influence the fight even if you got there in time on the site itself? You can't. And in that sense, you know, because of that cosmic divide in between you and them, they're going to be focused on the flank anyways because of it. So I think it's a misplay. They should have just put up, in my opinion, that wall there where they were, and just have Borkum help on the side. But 2020 is hindsight. In this case, well, we're going to go 12-12 into the first overtime. I think it's only Apdax. We're starting the grand final, map number 1, with another overtime match between these two teams. Bren Esports versus Paper Rex. Bren now on the attacking side. They're trying to take hit heavy-handedly into the A side initially, but Paper Rex are keeping them at the cusp of it, at the ridges of it. But Mind Freak will shut down Dubstep. He's pushing it all alone and punished heavily for that.
Dubsteps couldn't get the clear on to the right-hand side. And just some beautiful tracking there from Mind Freak to keep an eye out if ever Dubstep was going to peek him, and just made sure that he could get that kill in the most secure way. But this time, Bren Esports, I believe they see that barrel and they're going to go for the wall bank, but Forsaken will be fended off. And Bren Esports does not secure the kill. Now by the last, Mind Freak is not done, and he's just blowing the minds here of Bren Esports. 3 for Mind Freak so far. Forsaken gets on the board as well, and everything is left to Jesse Vash. Can he go for the 1v5? We've seen aces from this guy in the previous matchup, but can he do it yet again for today? It's up to Vash here from the showers. Cosmic Divide getting in front of him, but Forsaken will get the kill before that wall is even set on up. PRX now on map points, and how the tides have turned here in favor of Paper Rex.
Dax, remember, map number 1 of this entire C Challenger stage, group stage versus CBT with Bren Esports going on 6 overtimes. I think it's only apt that for map number 1 here once again, on bind once more, we're going into an overtime situation. Can Bren bring us into a second overtime? We're going the distance on this one. We called it this best of 5, surely not to disappoint. And Bren Esports on the defensive have been making some good strides in this matchup. Can they do it once more here? Initiative taken by them to go towards this B-long position. And even with that slow orb, you can see the fire of wits is not going to be sniffled out just yet. He wants to go for this peak. He's not going to even flash it. A dry peak coming from him. Going to repeat to try and go for even more. Ashiba went down. Devi almost following suit, but with that pick off, they're happy to get that one and back off safely. Play the advantage that they got. As Paper Rex are going towards that A side once more. Dispenser gonna hold things down. He's so good on holding the TP down. And he finds a second kill with the turret to help him too. Suddenly, Bren Esports make it 5-2.
Oh, and again, Bren Esports fighting on back. Devi now the only one left. And didn't we see this scenario before? But Devi this time looking for success. But unfortunately, Dispenser will grab that chain instead. We're not done. We're not done. That's just it. 13-13. We go again. And into the second overtime we go. But I gotta say, now, this actually can favor Bren Esports a little bit. We've been critical for how they drop maps against the opposition and then look for the comeback in multiple series. But one of their answers to the playoff run to secure the slot to Berlin has to force overtime instead. And while, yes, it was Paper Rex who went for that comeback and did deny Bren Esports of that initial regulation victory, it's still Bren Esports who said, okay, we're going to be figuring things out on the OT situation instead. And here we have it. The Spencer wins on the board. This is now going to be Bren Esports looking to go for that push. Forsaken, though, in the meantime, he has already been felled. And Dubstep with a takedown onto Benkai there. 4v2 scenario, but PRX trying to play the backstab. Can Shiba make this work? Widso keeping an eye out instead. And now it's Bren Esports now putting that spike down on A side. And we saw this last time just in the last round. Devi is the lone survivor here of Paper Rex. Can he go for the 1v4? It's going to be unlikely, but he gets off to a good start here versus Dubstep. Can he believe? Can he achieve? He's got 2, he's got a 3, and the Devi show gonna get denied there by Wits, but that's just way too close yet again. This is what this matchup is all about. Neck and neck chances can be taken, and the odds, it can be contested, but now it's Bren on map points.
Too close for comfort there, Dex
Oh my
Devi.
God.
Whenever he's in that 1vx situation, no matter who you put it on, as long as it's a player from Paper Rex, they can make it happen, and he almost did. By God, if he did not pull out the bird there, pull out the flash, he could have won that fight at the end versus Wits, but I have to commend Jesse Vash here. He's so perfect right now on his utility usage. Those recon darts have been finding them so much value, and they found that frag, that pick off on the Forsaken because of his recon bot itself. So really, really good job by Jesse Vash here on that Sova itself. One of the best Sovas you're going to find in Southeast Asia. He's got a lineup for everything, but now Dubstep, he doesn't need no lineup for this. He's going to take things straight and try pushing in, but Mind Freak, double, triple punish for Mind Freak here. Psychotic this man is, and Paper Rex are looking to take things back and go and force overtime number 3.
Well, we're not done though. Jesse Fletch does get a takedown, but Mind Freak yet again. How many times does he do that, Black and Blue? Go for the punish, wait at the right angle, at the right time. And he has to be one of the smartest players in the SEA scene because the angles that he takes, they're so opportune and they get the takedowns. And Jesse Vash now, he will fall to the hand of the Vi. Dispenser will die as well. And we go into another overtime. Map number 1. Guys, this is map number 1 of a best of 5. And we are going into...
overtime.
Is this the 4th? The 4th overtime? Third? Yeah,
Yep.
I don't know math, but this is a lot of rounds a lot more rounds than usual.
Well.
Yeah, you're right, third.
Yep. If this was the local scene decks, I'd make some, well, jokes about maybe education stuff because green, yes. We are.
Hey, you want me to give you a reference real quick? Hey, at
Real
least
quick.
this is a scoreline that's familiar to these players. Maybe they want to win in an old school scoreline, right?
Oh,
Right? Oh.
well,
Maybe this is
let's
maybe
not get
this
to
is
that.
This is the amount of rounds they want to play, that they're used to play
That
in the
is
first
true.
place.
That is true. Like, normally, we would be in regulation, at least in their
In their
prehistoric
history.
ages.
Yes, back in my day, you know.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Alright.
Maybe we'll find the source of that one day. But
Maybe.
we'll get back into the action. And
because, Dex, we've got a global
Yes.
competition up ahead.
oh, that's so true. And the offensive here from Bren Esports. Yeah,
Yes.
I'll give it to you because I know you love your origins. And come on, these players, they literally scream those origins in the first place. It really feels like that's how SEA has grown. Give that second chance to those old names. Give them a better scene to play in. Give them a better game to play in effectively. And it really just goes to show that the support here on the official circuit, it's been incredible for SCA. And we see these names shine on bright. And they're gonna go to Berlin. That's a big deal. They're going to Berlin in the official competition, and I'm very excited for that. But we have to be excited for more of these rounds because we are not done.
30 seconds
Wits
left.
there with the kill on the Shiba. Bren Esports now making it 5v4. Mind Freak now sticking on the round by the lamps. Dispenser, though, getting chipped away, though, on the HP department. But Forsaken quickly getting two as Witch catches out Benkai. 3v3 right now. It's all a matter of clutch here, but Bren Esports is running out of time. Scan, though, trying to get some locations. Dispenser using that extra space thanks to the deep recon dart there of Jesse Bash, and he'll get the kill onto the Vi. But Bren, they're trying to run away from PRX, and here we have Dispenser holding the line steadfast. He's a true sentinel here for Bren Esports. He defends his teammate who's
Switching
planting that
sides.
spike, and it's
Match
Bren
point.
Esports again on map point.
Dispenser, he's having himself a field day once more. 21 on him, Wits with 23. And this guy, man, he's been, you know, it takes a lot for a player like Dispenser who, coming into the scene, he was one of the best players in the country from CS, and he was typically the star player on most of the teams that he's played on, right? He's been that, you know, basically the main rifler, the main guy. He's always been that go-to guy. But for him to take that step back, play the Sentinel here, and a lot of blame might be put on him because he might not be on the top of the scoreboard all the time, but he gets so much value, and Bren Esports knows the type of a player that he is and type of value that he brings to the team, and you can see that exactly there. So consistent, so reliable, and that is why he is the Sentinel of the Philippines. But 15 to 14, this is once again a situation that Paper Rex have seen themselves, but can they make the overtime comeback happen? Jesse Bash here is going to find the pick, and he finds the second frag up on the divide. He has a divide to fall off of, and he gets that frag, not even wanting to take the teleport
Mind
to
Freak
get into
though.
safety. Mind Freak on the punish on that trade. He went for the ult orb. The Garden of Even, the temptation was right there, and he punishes him rightfully so for it. But Dispenser holding down the line for the meantime. It's a 2v3. Can Paper Rex make the clutch happen? It's Benkai and Forsaken to make it go.
Yeah, they're gonna look for that overtime yet again. Spike is planted, but Borkum getting control with the gravity well. And here we go, time is ticking, and Bren with Wits and Dubstep looking to play from the hookah. It's all about backsteps here for Bren Esports, and it's up to them to use those angles of opportunity. Benkai, though, does get one. Borkum now with the backstep of his own from the elbow, and everything is left to Forsaken. But this time, will this be the Bible of Forsaken, or will we take a page of the Bren Esports playbook? It's Borkum time there to wrap it up. And Black and Blue, 16-14 victory here for Bren Esports. Familiar territory and a familiar scoreline to their origins. But they have booked that ticket to Berlin, and they will continue on with a Bren win. Bren Esports now up by 1 in the series.
This was the win condition for here, Dax. For them to take map number 1 is a huge accomplishment and a huge factor to making this win happen. Now, Bren Esports take.
Now, that last round, my only question there racing through my mind was, how is Paper Rex gonna win this round now? Because multiple times they would just fight on back, and I honestly expected us to go into another overtime, but that time Bren Esports took an extra bit of that opportunity. And it's just those micro games here, Black and Blue. In that scenario, Jesse Vash was able to outduel the Vi, and Paper X, one thing I noticed about their duels is when they go for that reset, that second try, that's when they get that good win. Especially Forsaken and the Vi, they know immediately when they can't win a fight from the get-go, and they're so quick at backing on away. But Jesse Vash there, opportunity onto Shiba, Divide there falling down as well. But then Mind Freak swoops on in, like usual. But on the flip side, Bren's still finding the answers there with the Spencer, with Borkum, and it got very, very close as per usual, with only a single member remaining of Bren Esports. But this time, they take the win. This time, they keep away a little bit from Paper Rex. And it's been a matter of that timing, because when Paper Rex gets the right timing against Bren Esports, that's half.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
We just witnessed map number 1 between Bren and Paper Rex. They played their hearts out, and the game ended after a triple overtime with a score of 16-14 in favor of Bren on Bind. And you know what, guys? Honestly, what else is there to say? It's incredible to see the strongest teams in Southeast Asia go head-to-head. I mean, what do you have to say about that, Azure?
You know, something I noticed that we didn't really see from other teams, only with... Oh, bless you.
I muted. No one heard that.
Oh,
thank you.
okay. Just me that heard the sneeze. All right, my bad. Anyways, just to finish off what I was saying, Paper Rex is probably one of the only teams that I've seen on Bind that double, triple rotate just to make sure that they can have an easier time taking a side. And this has befuddled Bren multiple times, and it did show. As I mentioned, we went through that multiple overtime.
We had some concerns about the map pool, but we're going to throw in their casters right now.
Go again here, ladies and gentlemen. Map number 2 coming our way, and I'm very excited for this one. Daxter with black and blue. Bren Esports, though, on the defense. Paper Rex, in the meantime, on the attacking side here, black and blue. And I'm really intrigued to see what Bren's going to bring to the table this time, because, interesting enough, double duelist. There's a lot of confidence for the Bren roster here.
Well, I love it. We saw it on Bind. It made it happen. They made it happen. But Dubstep on Wits on this double duelist on the side of Paper Rex. You got Divide this time on the Jet, and Forsaken doing the same exact thing. So you got Jets on both sides. Bren Esports second duelist here will be the Reyna on Wits, and Forsaken on the Rays. Things are being switched on up. We talked about yesterday, Dax, how, Wits and Divide, they're the two flex players of these two rosters, but they can definitely bring the heat as much on these duelists as much as they can do on the skies themselves. Bankai and Forsaken opening things up here on the ramp itself. They're certainly on the uptick, on the uprise to take this A site, but Dubstep's got an answer back for it. Not able to find a pick. He does eventually find a double of his own with the Sheriff. Last blood connects on Forsaken. It's a 3v3.
Yeah, back's on the way though with that dash. My freak in the meantime still keeping an eye out. And here we have it, Dubstep now just trying to play all the way at the back of that tower. But at the same time, it's really intriguing to notice as Benkai there sees Borkum that we're not getting those mirror matches anymore compared to last time. Every single one of these comps has been unique between these two teams for the last 2 maps. And it does feel like that we're going to be getting a completely new look at both Bren Esports and Paper X coming in to this grand finals. Dubstep now with only 14 HP left. His dream to get the triple kill. Can he actually achieve it? The turret though, the raid boss off the pistol round already confirming his location. And the turret will get that kill. The 6th man of Paper Rex in this scenario. Benkai there with 3 kills overall. And Paper Rex will take the pistol away from Bren.
Paper Rex, those opening 2 picks were crucial for them. Dubstep did a very valiant job amicably to get those 2 kills and try and get things evened up. But he took a bit too much damage on that fight. Not that it was his fault. And so, in the end, the turret was just barely enough there to end the round in the favor of Paper Rex. Dubstep, a good job by him, but Paper Rex, an even better performance to start things off. You can see Shiba already buying up into the Phantom. They do not want to leave things out to luck. They know that Bren are a scrappy bunch. The Phantom's definitely going to help them, and you can see the full value of that opening things up here with the opening pick on Dubstep. Borkum will follow on suit from Mind Freak, and Defy pushing his way haphazardly into the heaven itself from the mail, but they will ship him back to the post office. All in Dispenser. He's got a shorty. What can you really do at this point?
Unless he surprises one of these players, absolutely nothing all the way on that A side. Paper Rex now hunting down Dispenser, trying to clear out the angles, but that was just such a quick pick off there from Shiba. 1 second in, he gets a takedown onto Dubstep, and Paper Rex here looking to make this a 2-0. But while I do have the time here, black and blue, I do want to take note of the compositions here. We got Sages on both sides. Shiba still sticking on around with the stage, but Jesse Vash, he's back on Sage duty when they play split. Can't even play the Sova here. And it's good to see a classic there for the side of Bren Esports. But you mentioned it a while ago, double duelist for Paper Rex as well. We got the Vi on the Jet, we got Forsaken on the Raze. And in this scenario, yes, it's the Vi who plays the Jet because he is a bit more accustomed to that duelist in this kind of configuration. But Forsaken gives Dispenser a taste of his own medicine. Shorty surprise from him this time. And a flawless victory from Paper Rex to make it 2-0 in the round.
Paper Rex, a good opening start from them. Bren Esports, I mean, during the matches yesterday that they had between each other in the best of 3 in the upper bracket final, when Bren Esports gave up that opening pistol round on Ascent itself, then everything started to tumble away. Now, Split is a map that they have had some good signs on, but it isn't a map that they're specifically known for to be one of their better maps, and with Haven out of the picture, that map win in map number 1 was crucial. Can they continue that momentum into this? Now, finally, they've got guns to bring into the round. And look at this. Wits getting caught out in the open. Could not choose which target to really face in the complete firing squad here of Bren Esports, of Borkum, of Paper Rex, rather, have shut Wits down. And as Reyna, how can you even dismiss or heal yourself up if you can't get the pick? You need that to get the full value out of her kit. Unfortunately, here, Dubstep, even with that information, could not land the shot. Shiba down, taken quite low. Paper Rex is still looking to aggress here on this male position. Jesse Vash on the peak, could not find the pick. Forsaken getting the better of him, and Dubstep looking to make something happen, but he's gonna get caught out as well.
Paper Rex right now, it's confidence personified from them, and it's such a confident game overall. Remove Wits from the equation, catch out Jesse Vash, even prevent Dubstep from making a play, and as Borkum sees and seizes the fly high Forsaken, it's Divide there to get that refrag, and it becomes 4v1, and Dispenser, he's put in the similar scenarios last round. He's all alone on his island of A sites. But overall, for Paper Rex, it's a good call here to just deny
30
Bren of
seconds
any
left.
kind of momentum, especially with that Reyna on Wits. Prevent him from getting kills, prevent him from getting that hot hand, and that will allow Paper Rex to just play the overrun time after time, round after round in this map alone. So 2-0, looking to be 3-0. Dispenser will be going for the exit frags. And also Paper Rex, they're avoiding the Sentinel gameplay right now of Dispenser, because this time, Dispenser stepping up versus Paper Rex. He's adjusted his playstyle just a little bit, so he isn't as readable as he was last time versus Paper Rex. But PRX, they have an easy solution to that problem. Stay away from Dispenser, go over to B site, play the overrun, as I said before, and win the round yet again.
He did kind of struggle in the matchup yesterday between Paper Rex and Bren Esports, and knowing that, as he said, Dax, he adjusted his playstyle, and now he's having a field day, but we get caught out in the end there by Mind Freak on the hunt for the lurk. Does get him in the end. Paper Rex, a good opening start from them. And Bren Esports, you know, the longer this series goes, the more it's going to go in the favor of Paper Rex, because Bren Esports, they already played 2 maps a while ago versus Alter Ego. Fortunately for them, it did not go to a full best of 3, but still, the longer they play, the more that fatigue could set in. Now, Bren Esports, all these 5 players on their side, they are veterans of the scene, yes, of esports and competitions in general, but everyone here is only just so human, and once again, that fatigue can definitely be a factor. No excuses, but it is the hand that they are dealt. Benkai opening things up here in the Wits, though. He's been so consistent here for the side of Paper Rex and showing his full stock once again.
Yes, removing the Brett stare from the Reyna, and you make a good point there, Black and Blue. Not only will Bren Esports have to deal with an endurance test, but also Paper Rex. A roster like this, a team like this, once they get that first map point on the board, that's when they look even more scary. That's when Paper Rex gets even better and better. And for PRX, if they can win this map pick, it's going to be even more essential for them in the first place in this scenario for the whole series. But Devi, he does get one dispenser now with the catch onto the Jet. Forsaken alongside Mind Freak playing inside the vents as the spike is planted on a site. There is a chance here for Bren Esports to fight on back. They do have a Phantom here for Jesse Vash, but Paper Rex already at the Vanguard, at the tip of the spear, looking for the firefights, and in the vents, we're going to be stuffing it with the corpses of Bren Esports. It's 4-0, and Paper Rex, are they getting back to that form that dominated Bren Esports yesterday? Is this going to be the runaway freight train of PRX?
Paper Rex, they did it once. They can do it again here versus Bren Esports. But now the operator is going to come out from Dubstep. And we know that he can do lots of work with that here on Split especially. But Woods has been struggling to really get much value out of the Reyna so far. The thing is with Reyna, unlike maybe many other operators in the game, a lot of her kit is based solely around finding frags, and you can't even use the dismiss nor the heal if you can't find those frags. You have to snowball things, and Wits will get that one. Dismissing in a safety. Gonna try and repick with the Leer. Quickly denied though here by Paper Rex. They know that he is inside the vents for the meantime. Cannot get too overeager. Device looking his way. Wits has to hold on. Rely back onto what has been ingrained in him discipline-wise to try and not repeat, and he falls back instead, rescinding control of vents. I like this coming in from the side of Bren Esports. Even though they found a pick from vents, they're ready to give it up because they know that Paper Rex might just overflood them with utility there. Now they're looking to try and split this B site.
It's the first step for Wits. Get that initial kill, and then he can play for momentum later on. But in this scenario, we get the lockdown now from Benkai. It does seem like here for Paper Rex, they do want to get more of that mid control with this lockdown, flush out anyone from the towers themselves. Just eviction notice there for Jesse Vash. He has to go into the alleyway instead, and seems like he's going to be a bit homeless in this scenario. But Borkum now with a takedown on the Mind Freak. Forsaken does get one in response, and here comes Forsaken. He's not done. Showstopper catching out Wits, and even though the Leer is there, the Eye of Sauron will not be enough to blind the aspirations there for Forsaken. And this is now going to be the lockdown in response from Bren Esports. PRX, they haven't put that spike down yet. They are still going to commit on this B site. Spike's planted, Divide there peeking, but he misses the shot onto Jesse Bash, who is secure with his takedown of his own. But Benkai, he goes back inside at the very last moment. And is this going to be a bait play here? Is Bren Esports thinking that PaperX has one more person there in that resback scenario, but Benkai now gonna get spotted, gonna get killed by Dispenser, as Forsaken will show his position by the garage, and Bren will take their first round on the board. It could have been some mind games there. Bren Esports overthinking it just a little bit, but as soon as they realized Forsaken was in the garage, that was just the execution on Benkai, and it's a little intriguing for PRX walking back into that detain.
Yeah, a small blunder there for him, and if he wasn't detained by that, then he had a great position to cut off the push from the heaven position itself. Borkum doing a good job to go 1-for-1 Forsaken, almost making things happen near the end of it, and Devi, as soon as he whiffed that shot, as soon as he didn't land it on Jesse Vash, well, Jesse Vash is ready there for the punish on the whiff, and that he will do every single time. Bren, they take one round, and this could be a sign of things to come. That's exactly what they need to get the ball rolling. Maybe you can start to snowball this into a bit more of this cut down into the deficit, but the operator now will be given away by Dubstep. They know where he is. Will he try and re-peek it, but Bankai punishing Wits there cannot continue to re-aggress once more. Wits has been getting caught out time and time again here by Paper Rex. Be very hard as Arena to find much value and confidence when you can't even land those shots with Borkum and Jesse Vash. Off of the boost here, using the wall to its full capabilities, giving them the high ground like a Skywalker, and they're definitely running over this.
A bit ambitious there for Paper Rex. Forsaken coming in close, but Mind Freak securing that kill. Just a quick little tap there onto Jesse Bash. Borkum though in the meantime with the answer, and Dispenser will flush out Benkai from the middle of the map. 4-2. Bren Esports now getting 2 in a row, and with their composition, this is a good sign. Once they get 3, 4, 5 rounds in this firefight, in this first half, it's gonna be very, very helpful to them. That will mean that Wits is starting to pop off, get those kills. That will mean that Dubstep has gotten value with the operator, and overall they do have lots of control options with the Astra in tow in their comp in the first place. On the flip side though, for Paper Rex, they're already off to a hot start. And for them, if they get a few more rounds, that's just going to be gravy for them. Absolute bonus rounds here for PRX every single time they get the scoreline on the attacking side, because we know when they get on the defense, they're going to be even more ironclad than before. But for Wits, he's only gotten a single kill so far, and when he's on that Reyna, he knows he's hungry for more. Dubstep, though, in the meantime, keeping an eye out of any kind of, at least, lineups there and the like. At the same time, it does feel like Paper Rex doesn't really have much besides the double updraft. And it seems like here for Bren Esports, they are anticipating Paper Rex plays. A while ago, even though Benkai was detained, they did go for the push. Now they know Devi has a Blade Storm ready, but Dubstep this time feeling secure about himself. And with that confidence, he gets rid of Shiba. Benkai, though, in the meantime, making it happen versus Jesse Bash. But Wits, he will get a second kill. Dubstep now here! But Forsaken from afar, doesn't care about the range of the operator. And it's 3v2 black and blue.
Now, we've seen Paper Rex make these comebacks happen, even with a man deficit. Dispenser holding down the angle there. Wits, he's got his ultimate, and so does Borkum, but Mind Freak, a single pick off, and he could have his From the Shadows ultimate on the Omen. That could allow them to quickly rotate, but they're still going to do it anyways, going to the B side. 30 seconds left on the clock, and Borkum here inside the mail. Will he check the angle? No, they won't, and Borkum finds a pick off, and that drops the spike all onto Mind Freak, who cannot get the round. And Bren Esports, they've cut the lead down to a single point, and I should believe that Paper Rex should be also in a light economic situation here. Bren Esports, really, really good job by him. And I like the fact that Wits, even though he hasn't been kind of getting too many frags, even though it's been quite a struggle for him, you can see that he does not shy away from taking those fights. His confidence might be shaken a bit, but not stirred. And just like a well-made drink, he's going to keep on sipping that cup. And Bren Esports, they're one drink away from the equal scoreline.
Yeah, it's been a smooth ride here for Bren Esports in fast 3 rounds, and we'll see now if they can tie things up. But what we see from Bren Esports, they are anticipating the Paper Rex plays that I mentioned a while ago. And that might be a point of contention here. If as Paper Rex, again, Mind Freak, how the hell does he even get those kills with those pistols? I don't even know. But he has just been masterful in these eco scenarios. Now he picks up a Phantom, and he's playing by the default. Right behind the box, it's going to be a Present. It's going to be the Omen in the box there. But Dubstep now, Operator, Danger close. Benkai goes down. And Paper Rex, they're going to go for the Paranoia play. But this is a near side. It might be Jesse Bash Bash still seeing who's right there, right beside him, but he couldn't re-peek 4 wits as Mind Freak will take him down. And now we hear the blades from the side of Dubstep. With Jesse Bash, he's been lurking, and he gets 2 with a classic of all things. Mind Freak now with 3 Forsaken on the board as well, shutting down Dubstep, and everything is left to Dispenser. You know, Black and Blue, this round we had some guns, but it's the pistols getting the takedowns more often than not. But it's Spike planted here, and Paper Rex. Never forget that Nico State, it's just a suggestion for them rather than a hindrance.
Yep. When it comes to the eco, they're like, okay, this basically means that we got to make a bit more flashy plays this time, and that's all they really don't bother and don't mind even working with. But Spencer, he's got a turret out here for information. You have to expect that when you see one, the other is going to be stacked up there as well. He knows they're there right now. Turret out here to try and help him peek, but it's a bit too shallow. Will not actually get much information nor even damage on them. That turret will just keep him at bay, but not much more. And Forsaken will confirm the round as PRX go back up 2 rounds here over Bren. Unfortunate with that turret placement. A good, valiant effort there by Dispenser near the end of things.
Paper Rex stacking like Tweedledee and Tweedledum, but Dispenser looking pretty Tweedledead there instead. And now it's going to be 5-3 as Paper Rex. When you ask them a question, sometimes they just don't even know the answer. To be like, what's an eco state? What's an advantage? What's a comeback? Because they just answer those questions with their play. It doesn't matter what kind of arsenal Paper Rex has, but of course, if they have the rifles, they're even scarier. But you always have to be on lookout for Paper Rex. How many times have I mentioned this between this matchup itself? It's always round for round for good reason. And Paper Rex, they're always a force to be reckoned with no matter what. Another thrifty victory for them effectively. Another eco state that they still come up ahead. And now the showstopper Unleashed versus Dispenser for Twit. He finds the buy, but he cannot for Forsaken, who searches for him instead and avenges the Fallen. Now Borkum though, seeing Mind Freak there. Jesse Bash with the Resurrection on the Wits. It's gonna be 4v4. Borkum now in the inside of the dark cover, using his smokes of the opposition against them. And Forsaken down below, but Benkai will say bye to 2. Dubstep Borkum though, wrap it up neatly here for Bren Esports. And in a battle of A site, the casualties will be counted, but it's Bren Esports who gets the round win.
A good hold by Borkum there to really keep things locked down on the A side from the screens, but you have to question what Shiba was doing, trying to push that dark cover just blindly. I'm not sure what really the intent there was. If it was to try and take the screen's control, well, he maybe could have used a slow orb or a barrier to try and help that endeavor, but just blindly push it and trying to be a smoke criminal. Well, he's going to jail for that, and Borkum will be the dealer of his own demise. 5-4, Bren Esports here on the peak now. Dubstep able to get that pick off to start things off, and this could be an equal scoreline going into the 11th round, but Bren, they've got the opening pick. PRX once again in an eco situation, but they've got 2 rifles to work with, and in the hands of the very capable Paper Rex. This could easily be a 4-4, and they can even win this round if Bren Esports aren't careful.
That's the thing, you always have to be careful versus Paper Rex, but Bren Esports doing a very good job for the recovery in this game. And I love the call there from Dubstep. You need confidence to even compete against Paper Rex, because if they sense weakness, if they smell fear from you, Paper Rex is just a predator looking to pounce on you and just kill you where you stand. And that's the thing, many teams in SCA, they fall to the Paper Rex experience just because of that dominance. Bren Esports, they know that they can be dominant as well. They've done it in their local scene time after time. They've realized their growths, and they cannot have a repeat of last time. That's the biggest thing. They already get traumatized by that experience, but it's also a learning lesson. We heard it from Dubstep in the interview a while ago. Losing like that was the wake-up call, and in all honesty, a better way to lose rather than just keeping it close versus Paper Rex, because that's more heartbreaking. Bren Esports have learned their lesson, but can they learn how to shoot down Paper Rex in this scenario, as Dubstep does not get the shot onto one. Forsaken though, he will fall in hand of Wits. Borkum this time surviving the onslaught from the Vi, and Paper Rex are running out of time. Bren Esports going to equalize the odds and equalize the scoreline. And here we go again, Black and Blue. We're not done. This match as close as can be, and the scoreline is the best indicator of that. Mirror reflection, 5-5 here and now.
Dax, this is looking like another overtime game to me. This is the exact same situation we were in last time on Bind on map number 1, and that ended 6-6 with a reset going into the second half, and it could be another one of those, I think. Bren Esports do have some momentum to work with. That's 2 rounds in a row that they've won. Can they string it to a third and take the lead here? They have not had the lead this entire game. They can make it happen here right now. The crossover now from Devi. Dubstep has an operator, will not land a shot and punished by Forsaken. Lightning quick on that punishment. Wits will find the frag here on the Devi as well. He's been electric so far, coming alive in the latter stages of this first half of split. But now, Borkum has also been doing a great job holding things down. I think he's going to want to go down here with the ship. The captain will never abandon what is his, and Borkum, he's going to go down with it for the meantime. But 3 versus 3, the retake will come in from Bren, and that's to kick things off here from Wits.
Yeah, Titanic experience there for Borkum. At least he took down 1, and this is now the Witch show for the Reina. Getting 3 so far, the momentum that he desperately needs. He hungers for more kills, but it's all up to Mind Freak. If anyone can clutch it, it can't be this guy. Opportunities yet again to get the advantage, and there you have it. Witch does go down, but unfortunately for Mind Freak, he only has 8 HP. Travis step on the inside. Jesse Vash already checking out the smoke, and Bren Esports will take the lead away from Paper Rex. Now, Paper X needs to be a bit wary. The shoe is on the other foot here, Black and Blue. And if you look at that scoreline, and once we get the visual on the scoreboard, it's going to be a big deal here for Paper X, because Bren Esports have gotten the rounds that they needed to string along. They've gotten the confidence back, and even though Paper X did deny them of that full win streak, these 3-round streaks have been helpful for the Bren brand. They've been getting their peaks out. They've been happy to go for the duels, and they know they can compete with Paper Rex. But I gotta say though, Forsaken, he's just so consistent with dealing with an operator using a rifle. And again, it's just a suggestion to him. Oh, yeah, that's an operator. You might want to stay away from that. I heard you loud and clear. It's clear now. Let's go. And here we go. But will Paper Rex be able to clear things out on a site? Dispenser, though, all the way by the screens. Quick little hops, though, courtesy of the race. Shiva finding Wits. And a beautiful opening here for Paper Rex. So far, can Jesse Vash contend, though? That's the question. He needs to back on the way, but Dispenser holding back, hanging back, and getting 2 so far.
The dispenser of death here right now, dishing it out one after the other. Can he find even more to keep Bren with this advantage? They've got that man advantage in their way, but the lockdown will force Paper Rex out of the way here off the side. Jesse Vash punishing the opposing Sage. Shiba taken down. It's a 2v4. It's all on the Mind Freak, and Benkai the backline here for Paper Rex, but Jesse Vash will find that freak on the Mind Freak. Benkai, the last one alive. He's going to have to see everything with a keen eye. The eagle on this man is going to have to soar high, because it is a 1v4. Final round of the first half. Can Bren Esports end this with a lead at the end of it? They do get that pick off on the Borkum from Benkai, but he's still got 3 Bren Esports members ready to deal with, and they are all prepared to take the fight, all prepared to go for a triple swing on him. Hurt out for a bit of information that should let them know that there is one at least here towards the elbow. He is right on that assumption, but he will not win the fight against Dubstep, as Bren end the half 7-5.
7-5 the scoreline. Bren Esports with a beautiful recovery, but after everything is said and done, this is not a bad situation at all for Paper X. They got 5 rounds on the attacking side, and we know when they play that split defense, it gets even scarier as soon as you walk up on site. So overall, PRX should be content with the scoreline that they get, but at the same time, it might feel like that they could have gotten a few more rounds after their initial streak. Bren Esports, though, they found their bearings as soon as they got that defuse win in the 5th round. They got even more of those denies, basically, and we saw it there. Paper Rex, they had a good handle on that A side, but Bren, they timed it very well, just surprising Paper Rex on the angles that they took. Dispenser especially, just getting the drop on the 2 duelists. And here we have it. Sides are swapped, but Paper Rex, they have a good chance here to tie things up yet again. And hasn't that been the story so far here, Black and Blue? If this is a tug of war, it's just two strong forces refusing to budge whatsoever with that rope. And Dispenser, though, he'll just get hanged there by Benkai, the Nano Swarm, burning the feet of the Killjoy on the other side. Dubstep now going for the taps, but the only rhythm here will be Shiba's, as the Classic gets a takedown, and Benkai now holding on a site.
Benkai is going to have to get another pick off here to really secure in the round. He's going to be exposed as that dissipates. Borkum able to find another follow-up on that, but Shiba will find one of his own, and Jesse Vash will answer back as well. 2v2 here, Wits and Jesse Vash on the site. Shiba and Forsaken on the retake. Paint shells out to try and paint him red. Jesse Vash not able to get out in the nick of time. He will get the plant off, but that's all he's gonna get. Wits, it's all onto him. No more dismisses, no more heals. All he got is that single Leer to make this gunfight work out. He's got the ghost. He's gonna have to make two of them.
Enemy
Yeah,
remaining.
more
Oh, Shiba.
onto it. Shiba taken down. Wits with the last one. He cannot confirm it though as Forsaken gets the round. And Paper Rex answer back here at the seeming cusp of Bren taking this lead away. Paper Rex not letting it get out of hand.
They're looking to tie things up yet again. Small moment of hesitation, though. A bit rare from Paper Rex because Shiba went forward, Forsaken kind of backed off. And I think I mentioned it a while ago that for Paper Rex, they have a good assessment of fights that they can win from the get-go or not. And Forsaken, he proves it there. That back off did help him out at the very end. But Shiba peeking all by his lonesome, they still need to be a bit careful of those scenarios. So while we know that these two teams are incredible so far, and they have these tendencies, and they have basically these facets of gameplay that make them unique. At the same time, it's all about that sync, and it really is, I'd say, as we get the Bren tactical timeout, it really feels like, besides trying to prove to each other who the king of SEA is, it's both Bren and Paper Rex trying to size each other up, and also set a higher bar of play. Because they both know they're going to Berlin, they're going to be facing off against the world's best in NA, in EMEA, in all the other regions, and it's their chance to truly shine for SEA. So not only does this contest prove to us who's going to be the better team, who's going to be the best team of SEA, but also it's a good indicator of what kind of performance they're going to bring to the table. And what I see from Bren Esports and Paper Rex, there's a lot of respect right now. They respect each other's power level. They respect each other's accomplishments so far, and they both want each other to perform well in Masters number 3. But of course, they're fighting right here, right now, and they may fight also in that grand stage in Berlin. So let's see what the future will hold, as now we are going to get back into the game. Bren Esports, they love to use the tactical timeouts, though, to stall out the momentum of the opposition and at least retool themselves. But Paper Rex, they have the good advantage coming into the round here, black and blue.
That is something that they got to work with here, Dax. And Bren Esports, we've seen a few thrifty rounds from them, but not as convincing as Paper Rex have been so far. Devi, actually it's going to be Dubstep finding the opening pick there. That's very good here for the side of Bren to get that opening pick, especially on Forsaken of all players. Now, on the push, they will wall off the top of mid here. Devi trying to use it to his advantage, as it was Shiba who tried to get that barrier up. Dubstep trying to be wary of maybe a peek here coming from Shiba. We know that this guy can get very aggressive at times, and Devi going to be kept back for the meantime, but still Bren, not real much ground taken and controlled by them, even with lots of them staying towards mid. They can't really continue to aggress on this and try and pull back instead. They didn't give up too much information anyways, and so the B site looks to be their next point of contention. It will be Mind Freak there on the Omen to first make that contact.
You know, the thing about Split is, the moment you wall mid down, that's kind of an instant no. Especially when you're in the pistol state. You're just like, okay, I'm gonna respect that wall. I will say no to that, and I will let Paper Rex get that mid control instead. But for now, the lurk play
30
from
seconds
Dispenser,
left.
will it work on that? Or will Paper Rex get that Sixth Sense yet again? It seems like that might be the case because Benkai is keeping an eye out. The Dispenser there gets falls to the hand of Benkai. Divide though with a catch up to Jesse Bash as well. But Bren Esports, they're making their direct conflict work. They're sieging onto B site. They have gotten 2 so far. Wits there with a classic onto Mind Freak. And does Bren Esports have it in them to contend with the thrifty victory? Can they do it right here, right now? Will they be able to make this happen? That's the question. They have the numbers, and will they give Paper Rex a taste of their own medicine? PRX have been incredible in eco states, but Bren Esports, they're looking to prove it as well. Now then, Benkai plus the turret. Can they work things out together? Is this going to be teamwork with the utility? Benkai, though, time is ticking right in front of him. And Wits right now looking to hop on the round. Dubstep using that distraction to catch out the Killjoy. And while Benkai gets one, it's not enough. So low on the HP there for Dubstep and Wits, but they get away with it anyway.
Dubstep, and Wits making things happen. Eco round favoring Bren Esports in that one. Coming up very scrappily at the end of things, and Dubstep, he's going to stay on the Spectre here and try and make it work out. He knows the anti-eco is going to have to be crucial here for Bren Esports. If they can get 9-6, then they could potentially start to build on this lead even more. That they shall try and do. Second round now won by Bren, which is something that actually Paper X have been doing to them all series long, all matchup long, honestly, between these two teams, where Bren will win the opening pistol, then Paper X come back on the second of the half. This time returning the favor, then Borkum will open things up here towards that the heaven position. On the push, though, Dubstep getting the pick off here. He's going to find a second on the Bankai this time. 2 players remaining, Forsaken and Mindfreak, all returning back into that heaven position to try and hold it off. But Borkum, he knows that they're going to be coming his way. Going to shut Forsaken down in the air, and Dubstep will get a 4K off of it too. Great job by him. And now 9-6. Bren Esports a single round away from getting that double-digit scoreline and increasing the lead even more.
You know, Paper Rex, it always feels like they're putting fireworks in your face. That you have to notice some of the wacky things that they do. And in that scenario, it's again Forsaken looking to play the distraction. Dubstep though tracking down the opposition, getting the 4K overall. But it still works here for PRX in a way. Borkum there getting whittled down, I believe. Yes, he did to Mindfreak, who's a classic god. And while Dubstep does get the takedown onto 4 players, it still means that PRX is willing to go above and beyond the expectations of many and are willing to fight in that manner. But Dispenser now catching out Bankai, and as Forsaken is right behind the smoke, can he even get an angle there? Dubstep already unleashed the blades. He didn't get the kill though, so I think he barely has any now. Spike though is gonna get planted. Paper Rex coming in from the tower. And Bren Esports, again, with that lurk play from Dispenser, but PRX, they're already on notice with the dark cover. But Dispenser, he's a smoke criminal on the inside, catches out Shiva. Forsaken in the meantime with a kill onto Wits there. PRX, they're looking low on the HP for the raise. Time is ticking, and it's going to be an interesting scenario here for Bren Esports as Dispenser is navigating to the middle where a wall will be in the way. But at the same time, PRX, they're checking things out. Borkum, though, it does have to peek because of the paint shells, and Jesse Bash now with a punish on Forsaken instead. Mindfreak now will back on away. This is going to be Paper Rex giving up this round. And the thing is, Black and Blue, when Bren Esports wins the second round as the Vi gets a beautiful exit kill there onto Dubstep, but when Bren Esports gets a second round victory and they steal it away from the opposing team, rarely do they drop the ball. It's one of the rare occasions that Bren can do, but when they do it, they look magnificent all throughout the half, and now it seems like that form is showing and shining.
Shimmering splendid here from the side of Bren Esports, and they've been making the Cinderella run look even more perfect for the meantime. Now Bren Esports coming into it, they have this lead, and Paper Rex are on that low economic situation, but they've been able to make it happen time and time again. Even here with 2 sheriffs on the side of Paper Rex, you can never count them out, and they've proven that over and over. Divide trying to go for the peak here on Mail, not an advisable angle, but he still finds a pick off on a Dubstep. That's a huge player to get here off of the Bren Esports side. Borkum trying to crawl his way to get for the refrag, but on the ping, he's gonna find the double, almost finding a third. Shiba will confirm that to bring it to a 3v3 back here again.
And there we go. Wits now popping that Empress. Can Bren still play the confidence man playstyle that has allowed them to claw their way back into the game and steal the lead away from Paper Rex? Or will PRX be able to dominate, and show us what the Paper Rex experience is all about? Real question is, though, what is the problem here for the Paper Rex defense so far? Because not only did they get ecoed, Bren Esports trying to play the angles, but for now, at the very least, they're looking pretty secure about it. They get the takedowns onto both Jesse Bash and Dispenser. They're winning the duels that they need. They're holding the lanes that they're accustomed to, and it seems like the cleanup on aisle mid is the only one that needs to be done by Paper Rex. Wits still watching the wall crack in front of him. It's high time now for
30
Wits
seconds left.
to prove to us that he can make this Reyna pick work. He has been getting back his momentum, but in a 1v3 situation, if he can find the duels, he has the tools to make the clutch happen. Still 2 Devar/dismisses, 2 souls to gather and garner. But as we get the smoke now into play, Mindfreak looking to play on the inside. Wits still already putting that
10
spike down.
seconds.
And Mindfreak, he has a corner there to keep an eye out. Peekaboo, Mindfreak sees you, and you are very, very dead. Mindfreak, though, he's one of the sneakiest ones. He's one of the smartest ones, and we see it time after time from Paper Rex. When there's a play that looks so eloquent, I gotta say, when there's a play that looks very different from what you're accustomed to, it's usually from Mindfreak.
Mindfreak, this man, there is no kind of altered reality for him, because he might be named Mindfreak, but he's fully conscious on every single decision he makes, and he's completely deadly in every facet and endeavor he tries to undertake. So, for the meantime here, Bren Esports, we've seen that Paper Rex have been time and time again thrifty. They proved it right there. But they've got the ultimates as well now to bring into this. Judge in the hand of Devi. The jury's still out on that, but we know he's very good in that endeavor.
And this is the map where judges do shine. Devi can give Bren Esports that last surprise. They'll never see that one coming, if ever. But PRX, they're looking to keep an eye out with the jump peaks there. The operator now will make some noise from Dubstep. An ambitious effort from Bren Esports. Up on the attacking side, the split, not the most commonplace thing, but at the same time, they're gonna make it work anyway. They're gonna try their luck, and they're gonna push things out onto that A site. Benkai, though, ready with the lockdown. PRX looking for that retake, and Wits, he is the first one to fall, as he was the first one to brawl. Now Benkai thinking about putting this lockdown down, and eventually he will commit onto it. Bren Esports, though, backing on away, and Borkum, he got hurt there by Forsaken. You can really feel like the senses are tingling for Forsaken, and two yet to get for Forsaken, looking for third. The special will shut him down, but here comes Devi, and he's looking to claw his way to the rounds, trying to ascend to the tower, but Dubstep will shut him down. While this is happening, though, Shiva taking advantage of the situation, and Paper Rex, they will just slink and steal this away from Bren Esports. Bren, though, can at the very least salvage a few tools here, and I do believe Dubstep might still have the operator after everything is said and done.
I think he saved the Phantom actually there.
No,
Like,
he's the
we'll
op.
really see. Oh no, he did get the op. You are right.
He got the op
There
because I saw scope, but the skin made me think for some reason that was a Marshall, and I was like, wait, there's no Marshall in this round right now. But again, it's not a Marshall round, but Marshall's incredible. I do gotta say though, again, ambitious here for Bren Esports to make an op play happen, but we'll see if it's gonna pay dividends or will they just be paying the price of that overpriced gun. We'll find out as Devi has an op of his own. Sniper tool perhaps, but it's not gonna be a sniper here. Oh no, he doesn't hit the shot, and Devi now with 10 HP has the back on away. Luckily for him, they do have a stage under composition so he can get topped up to 70. But no. If you're going to be playing that op, you need to get those kills and quickly, or else Bren Esports will get space and push forward. Forsaken, though, surprising Wits there, who's keeping an eye out on the tower. And PRX, they will still make two anyway in this round.
Good res coming from Jesse Bash. That's exactly what they needed for them to bring it back. And Forsaken, he finds a pick here on the Borkum. And now the only controller off of the side of Bren Esports has been thrown out the window. Dubstep going for the shot, almost landing it on the Mind Freak. A bit too close for comfort there. He can see the Tracer whipping past his head, but Devi will not miss that shot on a Dubstep in return. They pull out the Avengers, but only a single pick is Shiba able to find here. Wits will get that one, and Devi's going to find the third frag on the Wits this time, closing off the round, and Paper Rex a single one away from tying the game up.
Remember what we say, Black and Blue, that was the one whiff there from Devi, then he gets a 3k for the redemption arc in the same round. And these players, they make those rare mistakes, sure, but when they get back on the beat, they look for the beat sound, they get that momentum, and they just get that utter confidence that has been the biggest and I'd say best part of this matchup. If any, it feels like it's very emotional here, Black and Blue, but it makes a lot of sense as a context of teams. If one of these two teams suddenly feel like they're not confident against the opposition, it's going to be a bad sign for them because this has to be the level they're playing in the world stage. This is their chance to become the king of SEA. And if any of these two teams, if Bren Esports sniffs weakness out of Paper Rex, they will take advantage and run away with the game. Paper Rex, same thing, and we've seen that happen before in the upper bracket finals. So it's a test of fortitude, it's a test of mental strength, and I think again, we tackled it a little bit beforehand this series that there is that support structure from these two teams. Not too sure about Paper Rex, but Bren Esports, they did confirm they do have some psychology in their favor. They have a psychiatrist, if I remember correctly. And in those scenarios, right, it feels like that support does help them out in the long run because after a tough day, they need to get back that confidence. And Bren Esports, they did bounce back in the series. Paper Rex, they're oozing with confidence, so you'd never expect them to falter against any opponent. But now we're almost tied up yet again, Black and Blue, and we've been saying lots of beautiful things about how these two teams have been playing, have been growing. But now it's time for us to see who's going to get that beautiful blossom of a scoreline as Wits there catches out Forsaken.
He certainly turned things around here to open up the pick. Once again, Wits, such an incredibly talented player. You can see him on so many different roles and he shines in all of them. The flower here has starting to bloom for Bren Esports though. Shiba, he's got some pollen to throw into that batch. Just get the res up here online, and so Brings it back to a 5v5, equalizing things. A reset coming in for both of these teams. Dubstep playing at the cusp of this. He's going to push on in with the lockdown itself expiring, and they should be able to get the plant here for the most part, but they're going to try and go for this retake a bit early, and Dubstep not going to be able to punish Shiba for that, getting caught out in the open, getting mid-control as well as Jesse Bash only finds one, but not any much more.
Yeah, you'd think that Bren Esports is playing the breach and clear, but it's actually Paper Rex clearing out those off angles. And now Shiba, he's got it 3. The Spence still catching out Benkai, but Myfreak shows up from the alleyway, and a sucker punch there from the Omen will get the takedown. All left to Borkum here. He gets Shiba. It's now 1v1. Is this TikTok on the clock time here for Borkum? Is this going to be the clock winding on down? Divido tried to play that shortly from mid behind. Phantom out to bring around the Rosie, a possible Posey. And it's a chase down here. Divi, he needs to go for the defuse. Can he get halfway? And Borkum with the surprise. Borkum now, his time is here, and it's Bren Esports who wins out in the clutch in the most silly scenarios.
Merry-go-round, musical chairs, riding the carnival. Borkum just taking us for a ride, and he took him there at the end to Devi. Trying to chase him, he's on the tail, but the cat not able to catch up to the mouse in this case. And Borkum, so sly, so slick. Borkum getting the clutch in the 1v3. That's Borkum time. Remember the name. This is his game. 9-11, and Bren Esports a single one away for match point once again, Dax. What a play coming in there. The Paper Rex, we know that after a round like that, they're going to answer back big. They're going to answer back hard. And here comes Devi on the pickoff, and he finds wit to get things going.
The silencing the opposition, but Forsaken caught that there by Spencer. A little bit too greed from the Rays. Dubstep now with the catch of Shiba. And while Paper X got that beautiful pickup at the first signal of this round, it's still Bren with the advantage after everything is said and done. Mindfreak now tried to play up top the wall, has the back on the way because of the slow orb. And a while ago, I don't know if Saturday night cartoons will they be replaced from Tom and Jerry to Borkum and Devi, but that chase ring around the Rosie, I'm going to remember that for the rest of the series. But for now, we need to recall that this map is not over. Bren Esports, they're 2 away from getting the 2-0 scoreline, and that will be such an immense statement here from Bren Esports. And now you can see again, Mindfreak now caught out here by the Spencer. Bren Esports playing their angles well, waiting at the right times, and in this battle of timing, it's Bren Esports with a better stopwatch. Can Bren now go to that B side? We have the wall to get in. The way spike is being planted, and Paper Rex, they're still playing that operator, but can they get the angles here for this beat retake?
2v4. Devi gonna want to make up for that one the last time around, but no, Dax, this is an eco. They're gonna have to go save for this rather, and their economy not in the best situation. They're gonna have to try and save the weapon instead and try and play the comeback at match point. They know that if they lose this round, there is nothing they can do much afterwards. So Bren Esports, they've secured potentially an 11th. No! PRX, they've answered back. Bren Esports, they've given them a small window to work with. But the time is not there. And still, Paper Rex, they're going to go for the save instead. Going for the save play. I admire that from them. They know there's a bigger picture here than winning just a round. For the meantime, Jesse Vash at the cusp at the event horizon of that Black Radiant explosion. Paper Rex, they're a single, well, 3 rounds away in this deficit. Bren are the ones who are at match point right now. But Paper Rex, I don't think they're done just yet, Dex. They've saved that operator. They have a play in mind, and they know that they can make the comeback happen. Will we go into a second overtime map? I think so.
We'll see. Paper X, they did deny those exit frags from happening. They said you can have the points, but you cannot have our guns, and they will still contend here and now to try and fight for their split lives. But Bren Esports, it really feels like this is their time to shine. This is where they can take control of this series and go for that 2-0 scoreline if they can finish the job off. But that has been the one weakness of Bren Esports. Can they secure the win right here, right now? Can they get that victory? Well, it's up to them to answer that question. Dubstep, though, keeping an eye out. Here we go with Divide right now. Catching out Dubstep with the blades. Feel flurry of those metal sharp edges. And it's now Paper Rex getting that first pickup. But we've seen this before from PRX. Divide gets an incredible pickup at the start. But it doesn't really matter much because Bren Esports is able to equalize and take the advantage. Thing is, though, not only does Devi have the Spectre this time, he's given that operator to Forsaken. And keep an eye out on that Wonder Child all the way on A site if ever Bren rotates. But Bren, stubborn that they are, looking for that lockdown play. They're thinking about it, though, transferring the spike to the hands of the stage. And it might be a bait play here, Black and Blue. Dispenser might try to sell this B push while Bren is moving over to A site. Thing is, though,
You
I
should
love the
run.
angle here for Devi. He might see this one coming if he peeks in the
30
middle.
seconds left.
And as soon as he comes out, oh, Bren, they want to go for B side instead. Devi, though, will be the first contact. Borkum will get that takedown. Venkai right now trying to survive. Shiva finding Borkum. And here we have it. The detain will get anyone. Doesn't, but Bren buying space for themselves. And here they go onto that B site.
They were trying to sell that B site early on, and for the most part, Paper Rex, they weren't buying. They knew it was Snake Oil at the under end of it, but Dispenser's gonna get that frag off. She was gonna get one of his own. They now have a 3v2. The plant will go down. Will they be able to get the clutch? Jesse Vash able to bring it to a 2v2 here right now on the hell, and Shiba will send him directly from whence he came. Jesse Vash at the under end of it, and we're gonna continue on into another round as Paper Rex come back into it and get the defuse off. 10-12. Paper Rex not letting this one get too far.
Paper X, a slick salesman, denying this trade offer and refusing to budge on that B site. Incredible play there from PRX. Beautiful read on the opposition, and
get this?
even though Bren, they tried to make Snake Oil look good there, Black and Blue. They said it's gonna be healthy for you. They said it's gonna be your saving grace. It's a miracle serum. But Paper X, they look at science, they look at the possibilities, and the possibility now is a potential overtime because Bren, they don't have the money here. They're gonna believe in the power of the Guardian. Wits ready with that one-tap potential. But in this scenario, PRX, they have the advantage, and we're not done. Forsaken flying high. Showstopper though versus Dubstep, but Wits now with the refrag. It's 4v4. That's gonna be a free gun here for Bren Esports, giving them a chance. And not only that, Jesse Vash, he's one away from the resurrection, so he gets the orb, goes for the res, and after everything is said and done, it's gonna be a trade deal in favor of Bren Esports. This time here, Black and Blue, they got away with this one.
They do get away with a get out of jail free card basically out of it because of the res, but Devi's gonna quickly nullify that. What a great shot from him. Time and time again, Devi delivers. In this case, it will be Dubstep he sends back to the grave. Wits on the push here. He's the only player with an actual rifle, an actual weapon in his hands. Jesse Vash has a Guardian. He's been very good on that Guardian, I will say, but he's made that kind of like his hallmark here in the Philippines to make that Guardian work out. But can he do it here on the grandest stage that he has played on in the first, well, basically his grand final of the Sea Challenger that he's ever seen and Bren has seen? Well, that remains to be
They're
seen.
trying to do it again, Black and Blue. They're trying to sell a B take that's not going to be there. And as soon as the buy confirms Wits is here on A site, it's now Paper X seeing the movement of Bren Esports. It's all about tomfoolery here from the side of Bren Esports with Paper X. They have effectively given out the site though. It's 4v3, but again, the wittiness of Bren with PRX not budging with the right targets at the right time. And oh, Devi, he's gotten 3 here.
They can't continue to pick Devi when he has an operator like that in heaven. He might be an angel of heaven, but he's certainly not going to act like one, sending them down back. Borkum here from hell under the rafters does get the pick off on the Mind Freak, and Bankai will punish him for that position. Jesse Vash, a one tap to get the kill. Can find the second. Will he find the third? Almost getting it, but Bankai will confirm it. Shiba almost going down. A single bullet would have done him in, and who knows what would have happened in that case. But we're going to the final round of regulation, Dax. We're going to round number 24. And this just seems apt. I told you, it was smelling like overtime in my shoes. Well, that's not a good thought to think about now I think about it, but it was smelling. I'm going to rescind that. It's smelling like overtime in general, okay? But the boots here, put on by Paper X, they are steel-toed. They can protect him in any situation. Jesse Vash almost making the clutch happen, but we're going into the final round, Dax. It's smelling like overtime once more.
My friend, you might want to get some foot spray for that one, because
maybe.
Yeah.
The athlete's foot.
I don't
I'm
think it's the game.
player.
I think that's a real problem that you might want to check after we're done with this series, friend. Oh, that guy. Oh no.
Okay.
Oh, nanoswarm. No one saw that nanoswarm. It didn't go out of the map.
Nice throwing arm though. But
Yeah, he proves how strong he can be. But this is it, Bren. Again, the curse is real. Paper X, one away from making overtime happen, and if this keeps up, we are going to go past regulation in every single map. And Bren Esports right now, they want to prove that they can finish the job off in Valorant rounds, not in the rounds of the past. Borkum, though, going to be alongside Jesse Vash here, looking for that A take. It does seem like for the side of Bren Esports, they do want to play the tower angle as much as possible, but the Vi, he's looking to conquer anyone in front of him as soon as possible. He has been holding steadfast here on tower, and he's looking for one, and there you go. Wits now does go down. Beautiful operator shot from Devi yet again. Dubstep though going on the inside, surprises Shiva there with that quick reaction, but Benkai with the shutdown on Dispenser, and it's 4v3. Waldo is set on up. Devi looking for another one. This time he doesn't get the connection off the Jesse Bash, and Bren Esports, they're navigating to that A side. They use parkour, they use that updraft to get that spike plan, but while this is happening, it's now Paper X understanding the situation. They will commit that lockdown. It's the last round of the second half anyway. Forsaken there with a kill onto Dubstep. Borkum now with the kill off the first game in response, but Benkai, the Nano Swarm, it still works out in the end outside the map, and Benkai there getting that takedown. Jesse Vash now falls to the hand of Mind Freak, and Paper X, they will force overtime there. Was that the same Nano Swarm, or did he toss a second one? But my oh my, PRX, they tie things up.
I think it was the same one, because when you see on the minimap there on the position that he died in, it was at the very corner of that A site on the bottom right corner of it where the Nano Swarm went. So was that calculated, or did he just make the best out of a sticky situation? We don't know. We're gonna have to find out. It did technically go kind of outside, and so we're gonna see how that will really be ruled, but we're gonna continue on with the match so far. Another overtime continuing on here. Bren Esports versus Paper Rex. A show banger to get this show ended. We're at the final match, ladies and gentlemen. The final series, rather, of this entire playoff stage here at the Sea Challengers, of the final stage of the entire year for VCT Southeast Asia. And this is definitely delivering one for the history books. This is the third time these teams are matching up. Paper Rex have bested them in the series twice and over, but Bren Esports looking to make it happen for a third time around. Forsaken on the push here on the ramps, going to be pulled back because of that Nano Swarm. Dispenser looking to aggress because of that, but he's going to get caught out in the open by the opposing Killjoy. Benkai punishes him.
This is where Paper X can start the freight train going, and there you go. Station onto the Tower of Wits will deny that entry onto Forsaken. It's 4v4 as we have Devi still with the operator. He's had that hot hand, and he wants to continue with that rifle. Shiba, though, on the chase, on the hunt for Wits, who's on the low HP. But if Wits can turn things around and get that takedown, it's gonna be him healing on up to full instead. Still, though, Paper X, they have a good angle so far on a Heaven. But at the same time, Bren is already closing the distance, looking to get even more and more of that map control. And Paper Rex, they have to shoot their way out of this one here, black and blue.
Fortunately, that is a position that they love to be in those sticky situations, turning up like John Wick and using what they've got in their own hands to decide their own fate. Abilities, be damned. These guys know to bring the heat, and that is through hot iron lead. Benkai and the rest here of Paper Rex crawling up in the Heavens itself. On side the ropes, holding down the angle. Mind Freak will be there. Trying to peek out, though. Mind Freak will find that pick off, and Devi will find one on the Borkum as well. This overtime round is seemingly looking in the way. Paper Rex have just enough time to get the plant off on the B site itself, of which they can. Nobody inside the site to deny that from happening. In Bren Esports, they're going to have to go for the 2v4 retake here, Dex. But Jesse Vash, I don't think he realizes that Devi is going to be looking down his way. Okay, makes him whiff the shot off of the sidestep. Cannot confirm. Yes, he will. That's a good pick off here. And suddenly a sliver of a chance has been opened up here by Bren.
Yeah, good hustle for Paper Rex though to rotate to that B side, but Bren Esports giving themselves a chance, shutting down Devi, and now Dubstep with a drop down. Can he go for that kill? Already a dash on in, inside the Cloudburst, and he is able to outduel Shiba in that scenario. It's 2v2 now, duos versus duos. Now then, Benkai though, facing off against Jesse Vash, and now Dubstep goes for the fake. It makes Mind Freak check it out, and Bren Esports will say, look, see, we will take this round. 13-12, gonna be the scoreline. It's now map point here for Bren Esports.
Bren Esports have taken the lead once again in overtime, and on the defensive half, now they go to the attacking side. Can they make it happen a second time around in overtime? They have been perfect so far in these overtime situations, Dax. The panel touched on it. They have yet to lose a map that isn't against Paper Rex, and in all of those maps, well, at least a bunch of them, every time it went into that overtime situation, Bren have come out of it unscathed. Even if it went into 6-7 overtimes, they have come out of it on top. And Bren, this is where they are good. When the going gets tough, well, they dig down deep and pull themselves out of the hole by themselves, all alone. There is no situation that they shall falter in. And Paper Rex, they're looking to make it a bit more difficult here. Devi opening things up, trying to at the very least, but cannot land a shot there. And Witz, who backs off in the nick of time. And they do burn that wall down, but even with that, they're not necessarily trying to aggress too much.
And Bren Esports, the panel said in themselves, that's when Bren Esports can get success in these overtime scenarios. PaperX, though, they've been breaking the records of Bren in the playoffs. They were the team that have given Bren the map losses. And will they be the team that gives Bren that OT loss as well? Now, this is a good start here for Jesse Vash. The Vi already gonna get conquered there and will fall on down. It's Bren now with that initial pickoff. They have a good chance to make this B take work, especially removing the Jet from the equation here, Black and Blue.
They have an opportunity. For them to find Devi and drop that operator was huge. That has been a big thorn in the side once again that they've been stepping on here, Bren. That Devi has been poking them with, prodding at them. But Shiva's gonna get blinded by that short-sighted and he cannot
30
see
seconds left.
far enough to get the shots off. Wits opening things up, and Bren Esports are a few kills away from potentially going up 2-0 in this series and maybe getting that one map closer to claiming the Champions of C, the Kings of C title. Forsaken will find one, but he's taken down by Dubstep. 2-4 here, Dax. It's all onto Bankai and Mindfreak. They've been super clutch, and Bankai will find that fragment on Dubstep. He could potentially find one more, but the turret is going to give his position away. They now know that both of the pushes here are going to come from the CT side, but Mindfreak able to cross because of his teleport. The Omen here coming up alive, but Bankai is going to have to find the crossfire working out in his favor. Still though, Jesse Bash catches Mindfreak off. Bankai will find one, cannot find the follow-up, and Wits will secure the game. Bren Esports take the series 2-0 in such a dominating fashion once again in overtime. What a classic from them, and they get the series once more. We're going to map 3 with a 2-0 lead.
A second strike, a second blow, and a big chance now for Bren Esports to look and run away with this game. PaperX never fold side. Immense pressure on both teams, on both fronts here, but Borkham there with the MVP. 21 takedowns for him. Benkai in the meantime with 24. Again, the Vi. Man with the operator. Scary stuff from him. How many times did we see for PaperX that operator was the defining moment of the round? For Bren Esports, though, it did feel like in many of their takes, that's when they actually had a good handle of the rounds. They're Black and Blue. Yes, there were some big brain plays from Bren Esports that didn't really pan out against the smarts of PaperX, but when we got that full force from Bren Esports, their movement to take the site that they needed, the way that they rotated, that's what let them get the kills in the first place. They got the pushes that they needed, they got the areas that they wanted, and from that point on, they had the staging ground to take the site and take the map by storm.
Bren Esports, what a win from them, for them to be able to take this one in another overtime setting. That must be a heartbreaker for PaperX, but we know that they are mechanically and psychologically sound. This will not shake PaperX, and as we're going into map number 3, we have to be wary of the storm that PaperX can break.
All right. So here we are. Icebox. Casters. Take it away.
Well, there you go. Thanks, Miminal. Gotta say, though, you took the words out of my mouth. Is this gonna be the Bren clean sweep, or will it be the PaperX patented reverse sweep? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the games. Dax here with Black and Blue, and this is map number 3, and yet again, we see PRX on home turf. This is where their frozen crown absolutely glistens. This is where gold can happen here for PRX. This is where they can get those incredible victories, Black and Blue. But at the same time, in the history of PaperX on this map, there have been incredible victories against them as well in response.
I mean, last time that they faced each other, at least before the match yesterday, Bren Esports were able to 13-6 Paper Rex here during C Challengers 2. Although, match that we saw a while ago, yesterday, between them in the upper bracket finals, Paper Rex were able to win that in a very, very tightly contested 13-11. But let's get on the past now and continue with the future and the present. As now Paper Rex on this defense, trying to stop the push, but Borkum's gonna stop Forsaken on the flank. Shiba will get that frag with a shock dart of his own, very apt. But Divide will get the trade offer in Dispenser. And Shiba, he finds Wits. They're just shutting down the push here of Dispenser and the rest of this Bren Esports squad. It's all in the dubstep, and Borkum, who initially did have some good signs on this A push, but could not really confirm the site itself. Dubstep gonna have to fall back, but Borkum coming at the right time. He's a Viper, striking without them even knowing. And Dubstep will get a triple kill. Somehow Bren Esports turn it back around, shove it in the face of Paper Rex, and get the pistol.
He just slithers on in there. Borkum finding the backstab on, pressuring Paper Rex to push towards Dubstep instead before turning on the round. But Dubstep, he survives, he thrives in those scenarios, and he gets the kills to wrap up the round there for Bren Esports. So Bren will win the pistol, and it's going to be a good sign here for Bren Esports because they don't want Paper Rex to take that initial momentum on a tightly contested map. But back to that history there, Black and Blue. You make a good point. I feel like for Paper Rex, they just can't let Bren get to 12. They can let Bren get to 11, but not 12. That has been the one number that has made the difference between yesterday's upper bracket finals and here in the grand finals. We've gone into overtime twice already, and twice did Bren Esports shine and stay and move forward. They're the ones who took the victories. They're the ones who has a 2-0 lead in this series. But last time we were on Icebox, Bren Esports was denied of that overtime situation. And Paper Rex, they need to control that scoreline from the get-go if they want to take this win. Bren, though, already looking to go for the default plant. Wits in the meantime, Dispenser finding 2 so far. And as we saw Divide trying to play parkour, his body gonna hit the ground. Spike Snap planted as the wall gonna get clobbered there. One segment broken. Mind Freak, though, catching out Wits with a classic to no one's surprise. Dispenser, though, with 3 so far. Mind Freak looking for another one, and he just makes this free gun work. But Bren Esports will free themselves of the tyranny of Mind Freak on the other side. And now it's Bren with a 2-0 lead.
A good start from Bren, but Paper Rex, they've been quite good on these third round turnaround rounds that we've seen from them. They're looking to make that happen once more. It seemed like on that opening pistol with Paper Rex, when they had a 2v4, they started to get a bit overconfident and started to run away with things, but yet, Bren Esports, you cannot sleep on these guys. You cannot let yourselves get too complacent. Otherwise, well, they're going to punish you every single time. Paper Rex right now on the defensive side. The only player on the B site itself will be Mind Freak on that Viper, who is very capable of doing it on his lonesome, but Bankai there to support him right now, as there is presence by Bren Esports here on the B long side. They do have a rifle on the dubstep, but that's the only long-range weapon they've got. For the most part, they're going to have to try and take these fights up close and maybe overrun the defense on the B site itself.
Yeah, this is a good call for Paper Rex. Hold close, especially if the wall does set on up. Prevent it from getting fortified and amplified on the HP department. And that will be the Paper Rex advantage coming into this round. And Mind Freak, if you can kill with the classics, you can kill anyone with anything. And we'll see now how Bren is going to go about this setup. They want to go for the wall, but Paper Rex, they can't whittle down that wall very quickly enough. Dubstep instead catching out Benkai. Beautiful pick off there from Bren Esports. And you mentioned it a while ago, Black and Blue. That's the one rifle they have in their hands. And it seems like that's going to be Dubstep's gun to get that takedown. 5v4 scenario. Forsaken, though, searching for a target or two. It's Dispenser now seen on the left-hand side, but the frenzy is enough to get rid of Divide. Wits also with a catch out the Mind Freak after Dispenser falls, and it's 4v2 now. Can Shiva hold the line together here with Forsaken? Paper Rex trying to play their hearts out by the yellow crate, but it's Wits there dismissing to get in the middle of the 2 walls, and Borkum has set up the snake bite, and Forsaken will forget about it, step on it, and get taken down. It's Bren winning the bonus, getting that 3rd round there, and this is such a good snowball so far for Bren Esports as Paper Rex is caught in the crossfire and caught in this avalanche.
What a push here coming from Bren, and Paper Rex, even with a better weapon, you look at that in the crevasse of things, he gets caught out in it, and Bren Esports are looking to take a 4-0 start here, Dex.
It's like he touched the very outline of that snake bite. And I can't really blame him for trying that way, but at the same time, just because of how that was positioned, Wits with a proper bait, he was like, chase me, Forsaken. You know you want to take me down before I snowball out of control. And that scenario, just the perfect trap set there by Bren Esports. And really, this is just heavy momentum in favor of Bren so far. With the 2-0 advantage they have, it's undercutting from them. And here we go again from Wits and Dubstep. This is not the Bren that we saw yesterday fall to Paper X. This is the Bren that fought tooth and nail in the playoffs, in the upper bracket, in the first 2 maps. And Paper X are stunned here. 4-0 for Bren Esports in a flawless manner. But as we always say, Paper X, when is going to be the comeback? Because it's always a possibility. Is it night time for PRX to bounce back? Because if Bren runs away with it, then they will just give the same treatment they were suffering from last time.
Imagine how this would work out when Bren Esports, if they're able to take this map and bring it to a 3-0 after the dominating end by Paper Rex on the upper bracket final yesterday, with them to take Ascent and wash it away from Bren Esports' hand. You saw it, you heard it from Dubstep. When you lose in that big of a deficit, as Forsaken finds an opening pick here, it's much easier to move on, and Bren Esports seem to have done so. They've got new sights aligned, but Forsaken cannot find the follow-up even without him looking his way. Did not land the shot, so the res will come in.
Pursuit Forsaken, the rally call of Paper Rex there with the initial kill, but on the flip side, Spencer had the resurrection up after the 4-round streak of Bren Esports. A good sign for Bren to still make it a 5v5. And as we get the utilities to flush out Forsaken, Wits keeping an eye out and checking out at high ground. Bren Esports, they've been showing that for the past 2 games, that they want to anticipate those updrafts. It hasn't really panned out until now, but eventually that extra little bit of, I'd say, proactivity helping them immensely in this scenario. So the operator gonna go down, but Paper X is not done. They have a great setup there on A site with the Viper's Pit. They have a heavy stack on B site here, and if they walk into this one here for the side of Bren Esports, Paper X could take advantage, and especially the Mind Freak Mind Blowers yet again on that high ground, looking to be extra sneaky so far.
30 seconds left.
4-0. Paper Rex have yet to secure a round, but with that pick off from Shiba, they're in the path of doing that. Gonna have to fall back through it, but Dubstep, a wild shot from him, but lands on Mind Freak. Bankai answering back, though. He finds a double to hold down the line. The Sentinels here, Paper Rex in every sense of the word. True turrets, keeping the line straw and drawn. Bankai gets a third, and that will be the first round here for Paper Rex. What a retaliation from them. And that pick by Shiba just started the avalanche here. Forsaken getting the opening pick, not able to find more, but the rest of Paper Rex has got his back, and they get the round.
Welcome to the Sentinel Show, starring Bankai there, and he has been one of those reliable players for Paper Rex for those pinch scenarios. If you are in trouble and we have the Vi and Forsaken busy somewhere else in the map, look at Bankai, because he can just always say bye-bye to anyone when he has that station in the first place. He really exemplifies the values of a Sentinel. When he is just in position, when he's holding his ground, he knows how to play those utilities, he knows how to hit those shots, and he's just a turret there for Paper Rex that is absolutely reliable. But Shiba now giving Jesse Bash that Hunter's Fury. Wit's also gonna fall, and Paper Rex, they get 2 for Shiba. He has been incredible with the darts, but Hunter's Furies are his second nature there. And just with a double kill, tipping the odds in favor of Paper Rex, it's Bren now scratching on their heads, trying to figure out how to get to this beat take.
5v3 here in the favor of Paper Rex on the defensive side. Dubstep, he has his blades, and Borkum, he has his poison. The toxicity that he can bring into this can potentially shake things up, but they're gonna have to find the pick first, clean and dry, to be able to make things happen, to be able to get that opportunity, and even a sign to pull out the ultimates. The wall can come up on here by Dispenser and go for the plant right after. That's exactly what he's gonna do, but Forsaken with this wall right in front of him, it idolizes, it solidizes right in front of him, going hard, and now they can keep things clean. Here comes out the Viper's Pit. Blade, not sure if he's gonna pop it just yet. They do have the poison on the spike itself. Barely a bit too deep though, but still Dubstep, even on low HP, finds a pick. Forsaken, finding way his own. Borkum's able to get the trade off of that, and Mind Freak will answer back in the Dubstep. Borkum will be shut down, and Paper Rex have gotten a second round.
Mind Freak there calling Borkum to come out wherever he comes from, and that's Paper Rex making the retake work and getting a second round on the board. Now, will this be the favor of the game moving forward for Paper Rex? Is this gonna be their chance now to try and tie things up? Because that has been the story of this series. One side will go for a streak, and then the other will streak on back to tie things up, and then it'll be all about equalizers until one of these two sides decides to run away with it, and then we get an equalization yet again. It's been a formula there, Black and Blue. Between map number 1, map number 2, somehow, some way, it always ends in overtime. And while we saw Bren Esports get off to a hot start, Paper Rex now looking to do the same old thing yet again and keep it contentious. But Forsaken now, operator down on the low ground, will back on away as Bren Esports will look for the assault on A sites. This siege here with Wits on the high ground might kick off with him finding a pickoff on the other side. In any case, we got Jesse Bash here hiding underneath the pipes, and he's waiting, watching, and anticipating any kind of Paper Rex greediness, I gotta say, if they go for the orb or they go for the peak.
Paper Rex will be Forsaken here with the operator. Will not land a shot there in the dubstep. Will do some damage, almost, actually. Borkum was taking the brunt of that, but he will not land a shot, more importantly. Plant will go down here at the very edge of that barrier. As dubstep taking that vertical angle. They're playing this really close. They're not actually necessarily playing for lineups in this case, but they will be playing very tightly knit on this defense.
There we go, time ticking. Bren Esports has gotten the plant down, but we've seen Paper Rex come out of this situation right before this round, and they look to do so yet again. Little 5v5, Bull retakes Narashi, but though running on in just to die. Jesse Bash now lobbing that shock back for some Mind Freak, but Medkite here with 2 so far, and Paper Rex trying to get to that defuse, but Borkum will shut that down. It's Bren spamming it out on the objective. They know the win condition, and they are just conditionally hitting those shots. It's Bren now getting up by 5, and it's now a 5-2 scoreline. 3 rounds to gap here as Dubstep tried to go for the great escape, but he will get caught in the blast radius. His sacrifice, though, not in vain. 8 takedowns for him and Borkum. Whitson 7, and it's Bren in control of this half so far here, Black and Blue.
It's barely within the event horizon of the Black Void implosion of Radiant and that, but he does get at least, you know, a few kills in that round to continue on. It's now Bren Esports who are looking even hotter than ever, and you know what I think it is, Zex? Historically, you know, Bren have been kind of starting off map number 1 a bit slower, but since they already played 2 maps earlier versus Alter Ego, they're already primed and ready. They're heated up, and at least locally, yeah, that might ring true with their slow starts, but internationally, Bren Esports, and they even touched on this, they've been looking better internationally under map number 1s than they do even locally, and so seems like they just shift into a new gear when they know the going gets tough. And now here comes the plant on the site itself. Forsaken on the flank with his own knives, and Bankai will get the kill on Dispenser. A second for Forsaken. This is the problem. When you give him those blades, he can chop things up like a stiff souffle. And now the round taken thriftily on an eco by Paper Rex.
And just Paper Rex, they declare, you were saying there, Bren Esports? And in a flawless manner, they get this round. Not only was the lineup perfect there from Benkai, but Forsaken with that backstab. And Paper Rex and Thrifties, they just go hand in hand by this point. Not only does this put them back in a good economy, they steal the guns away from Bren Esports, and they're able to equalize the odds. And that's the thing about Paper Rex. For many teams, they need a 1, 2, 3 round recovery just to have a good handle of the game. But for Paper Rex, all they need is 1. They win 1 Thrifty round, and everything is set and dandy. This 5-3 scoreline now, you can pretend it's a 5-5 scoreline by this point. Yes, it's Bren Esports up by 2, but Paper X, when they equalize the odds, they always compete with it, and that's been one of the biggest indicators of their success, especially against Bren.
Have to continue that to find more success, but Dubstep on this up angle finds Mind Freak, but Forsaken will get the trade off of that, but the Jesse Vash guarantee is going to confirm the kill on Forsaken, and the res will come in from Dubstep. Now in a 5v3, Divide will do the same to get Forsaken back online, and Bankai there trying to hold off the flank. You can see Wits is already trying to get some takeoffs here on the A side, and Bankai will find him, but Borkum will do the same to Shiba on towards mid. It's a 4v3. They got the wall up here coming up now by Borkum, and Bankai is trying to find a way to dip his hands into that poison and stop it from coming up in the first place. But Borkum on the tube is going to show him, get out of here, Forsaken. I am the owner of this. And, well, on the flank, Divide will catch him off guard as well. They still have a chance here to make this stuff happen as Paper Rex bring it down to a 2v3. The plant will go on the B site, Dax.
That was an it's Borkum moment, out of nowhere, peeking back on the inside, but at least Paper Rex finally ending his tyranny of that tube. Spike though has been planted and the damage has been done. It's Bren Esports now with a man advantage, and they have gotten the objective in location. On the flip side now, lockdown on the other side. Dispense still beautiful wall banks there, but the Vi will take advantage of the distraction, and Dubstep gonna fall. 2v2 now. Here comes the Vi. Can he get even more here? And there's the peak from Paper X. 3 for the Vi, but Jesse Bash, this dad, is gonna play the clutch yet again. Not bad for an old-timer whatsoever. 6-3 right now here for Bren Esports. And it just goes to show that Bren absolutely motivated in this series, looking for retribution. And if this is going to be the case here, Black and Blue, is this truly third time's the charm here versus Paper X?
Will they get the revenge? Will it happen? Will third time be the charm, as you touched on it, Dex? Well, that could definitely be a possibility. Might I remind you all that in Sea Challengers Stage 2, in the finals, full sense, they got sent down to the lower bracket by Paper Rex, and they got the revenge in the grand finals itself, and that's looking to be true here for Bren Esports. They might just have their vengeance. The Punisher might come alive, and Dispenser will be the first hand into that case.
Oh, Mind Freak,
Borkum, though, catching Mind Freak. Where are your feet sticking out of the blanket? The monster's under the bed, and his name is Borkum. Sheba getting the kill on Dispenser, though. There's a 4v3. They've taken the site, but on top of the tube, there will be a waiting Sheba taken down by Witzo. A 4v2.
Keeping an eye on the high ground, and Wit is not done. There we go. Divide does fall. Just scary things bump in the night. Apparently, that thing is a Borkum. Gotta say, this is why you want to fix your blanket before you go to sleep. But as Paper X has been taken into nap time, it's all up to Benkai here. Was the only one awake. Can he bring in an infusion of flavor here for Paper X? Can he just caffeinate the roster here with the clutch? It's a 1v4 scenario, but Jesse Bash with the deny yet again. And this is looking a little dicey now for Paper X. Yes, Paper X is a squadron that can go for the comebacks. Yes, Paper X is a squadron that has been renowned to equalize and look for the lead after everything is said and done. But for Bren Esports, with this showing so far in the first half, it's just all of the good omens going in their favor. 7-3 here, guns in hand. Paper X now on an eco, and this keeps up. Bren is looking to be absolutely neat and tidy today, and looking for that 3-0. Paper X, though, they still have the chances, though, Black and Blue, to deny that fact.
I'm starting to get a bit worried here for Paper Rex. They're down 2-0 in the series, and they're on the defensive side, mind you, here in Icebox, and so they need at least 5 rounds to make things really viable when it comes to the second half. Borkum will pull his ultimate out here. They still have the Empress online from Wits, but they just pulled out as well. No ultimates on the side of Paper Rex. They've been struggling to get that online because of how little rounds they were actually able to string in a row, but Benkai will get that kill on the Wits for the meantime.
Spike planted.
Spike's planted, though. Borkum just right behind the wall. There we have Snakebite gonna get thrown on that. Sheba in the meantime going for the spam. And PRX, they're getting tagged from the inside, but none of them have fallen as of yet. Still a chance here for Paper X. Does seem like Sheba has been spotted with Borkum looking for the execution on the inside. Just the mobility inside there for the Viper. That vision helping him out immensely. 2 here for Borkum so far. Dispenser on the board as well. And it's now going to be 4v2. Marfreak not trying to go for the aim down strong game. He's trying to pull things down, but the only thing that will tug at Bren Esports are the corpses of Paper X. It looks like Bren is on the ascension, on the up and up, and they are now 5 rounds ahead of Paper X.
The Bren Esports shuffle there, you can see how much value they get out of that Viper ultimate. The pit, they had to push it there, Paper X, and in that endeavor, well, the decay is a bit too much to deal with up close. Sometimes a single bullet or 2 can do you in, and that's all Bren needed to take the round. 8-3, Dax. This is not going the way anybody could have expected, but the Bren Esports magic is coming alive, looking like the maestros, the conductors of this chaos, and they're singing it to the tune of their own rhythm. Dubstep on the peak here towards B-Long, but Forsaken up top. Will he catch him off guard? Forsaken on the peak. He still does not land the shot as Dubstep will get the pick off here to get things going on the B side. That signals that Devi has to fall all the way back into it, and he will, but Borkum will catch him off anyways. That small gap in the Viper wall was enough for him to get a sliver of an opening and capitalize on it, but Benkai will find a way of his own. Borkum will do the same, getting a second kill in the round on the Sheba, and the res will come up here on the Spencer. It is all on the Mind Freak and Benkai lands a great tap here in the Dubstep, but Borkum will answer back, Dax. It's all on the Mind Freak in a 1v4.
Can he actually slither on in? Can he find the angles? He goes for Borkum first and foremost. Good pick off there onto the fellow Viper. But the 3 people on the other side of this wall, it's looking pretty dicey for Mindfreak. But we're not done. 3 kills for Mindfreak himself. Looks like this is going to be the chef in the kitchen, going on the outside, harvesting his own ingredients. But with only 11 HP, the dream is going to be dead. And Bren Esports will be up by 6. The most commanding scoreline we've seen so far in this series. And well, how the tides have turned. Looks like map number 3 is here, black and blue. Between Bren and Paper X, they mean something. But this time, it's Bren on the uprise, on the uptake at the higher level versus Paper X.
Bren, spin the wheel. They're looking to seal the deal here with a return of the same gift that Paper Rex sent to them last time around. With Paper Rex closing out that Ascent map with at a scoreline of what? It was like 13-4 or something like that. The Bren are trying to do the same thing here. What?
It was worse than that. 13-1, remember?
Oh, it's 13-1. You're actually right. I think
that was
I tried,
even more painful.
Yeah, my heart kind of added some points at the end of that just to minimize the hurt. But
no, yeah, that's what the reality is. Come on, you have to face facts there, black and blue. Paper X is an incredible team, but Bren right now, they're looking to be at their next level. And we saw that play before from Forsaken. This time though, he doesn't make it to the second floor, and now he has to shoot out of this situation. Bren Esports, they're hanging on back. They have read some of the Paper Rex plays. Come on, your name is Paper Rex. You gotta have some framework there. You gotta have some things written in the words. And PRX now, they're making sure their word is law in this pistol round. They have gotten 4 so far, all up to dubstep right now. Even though Forsaken and Mindfreak are quite low, they are navigating to that A site. And Paper X, if they want to salvage this game, it's high time to do so. Putting that spike down on A site. If they get this win, there's a really big chance for Paper X to do the Paper X comeback and get back in this game. And there you have it. 9-4, we're not done. Again, Paper X, it's only suggestion to them in terms of that score gap.
9-4 and Paper Rex. This is a good start for them in the second half. They needed that pistol. If they lost the pistol round of this second half, then this could have been a runaway performance coming in from Bren Esports, but they have a chance here. They win this round 9-5. They win the one right after. Bren are going to have to go in eco. It could easily be a 9-7 before you know it. And so, Bren, they realize this. They know they cannot get complacent. And they know that they cannot let this lead slip away because Paper Rex, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile and add some more onto that. As Bren Esports here right now on this eco, looking to try and do as much damage as they can, but it's Borkum who's taking a lot in return.
Paper Rex, this squadron, doesn't matter. For them, a scoreline is just an opinion, man. It's all about victory and defeat. And here we go again. They have no fear whatsoever, no matter how far down they are. And they know they just need to take things step by step, round by round, point by point. And this 9-4 looking to be a 9-5. It's all up to dubstep and dispenser here. With only a sheriff and a pistol, it's more than highly unlikely. It's an improbability of the most galactic of fashions. But Dispenser, though, will at least tip the odds a bit in their favor. Some of the sands going for Bren Esports, but as I say that, Paper Rex does get the tip back, and now it's the Vi securing that round. So 9-5, Paper Rex. Again, suggestions to them. What's a 9-3? What's a 9-5? And then later on, what's a 9-9 scoreline if this keeps up?
9-5. These guys, professionals in every single sense of the word. And these guys definitely are used to going overtime, not just at 9-5, but they can go the distance. They'll find their way in the waking world. Can they find that worth? The dream, a reality, and maybe a few rounds here for Bren. Paper Rex a bit further away. They're going to have to continue on dreaming on to reach it at the end of things. They're still 2 maps away to get that into potential. But Forsaken, he's been tagged up here by the Aldrome, and the Tube has been a big point of contention for Bren Esports time and time again here in Icebox with Bankai! An opening pick off on a dubstep, and this is the exact start they needed, X, to get this comeback happening.
Holy bad signals there, Benkai. Again, when Paper Rex needs a hero, Benkai there able to step on up. And a beautiful opening here for Paper Rex as this is the 5th round of Bren Esports. Is this going to be the 9-3 curse in full effect? Will Wix be able to get a takedown there from the rafters? We'll tune in next time in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z as we are now going to get the conclusion of this firefight. And Forsaken will kick things off strong with a kill there on Wits.
Good pick off from him, but Jesse Vash is going to answer back on Devi. It's a 4v3 here, Dax. Borkum trying to peek from the rafters, but he cannot really find an angle. This should force Forsaken out, who does not have a dash to get out of safety. And Borkum will confirm the kill off of that with the poison. Now, 3v3, they tied things up. Mindfreak and Benkai both quite low. Benkai trying to buy this time here in the corner, but the maze will be shut down. Shiva getting a trade up there in the Jesse Vash, but he's going to try and stick the defuse. He will get half for the meantime. Dispenser getting the pick off. He will try and tag the poison, but no, he cannot get the defuse off all the way in the back. Mindfreak will be found. He has barely enough time. No, does he? He's gonna try and stick it. No,
He got this.
Does
he
he?
got this. He got
He
halfway. It was halfway with the drop down. Bren Esports, all they needed was the pixels. All they needed was a bit of those sightlines. And they come out ahead of that round. Already a good showing there from the Shiba Darts of Shiba. But on the flip side, Bren, they knew what they could get away with in terms of the defuse. And that has been one of the points of contention for Bren Esports. But that Borkum, he gets halfway. His sacrifice not in vain. Dispenser dropping on down, but Mindfreak, a rare slip up for him, peeking just a little too much. And this is now where Bren Esports can take control. Paper Rex, though, they did make that costly, and they are going to have the guns yet again, but still, now Bren at 10.
That's the definition of give them an inch, and well, they'll take a mile. And Shiva, he is certainly gonna smile after that one. Opening pick here to find Dispenser, and this is once again Shiva coming in big. He has been so consistent on these dire rounds where Paper Rex are at a deficit and they might be in an eco or in a bad situation, but he finds the opening pick anyways once again. Borkum here on yellow, and he's certainly not going to be any mellow for him. He's gonna try and back off, but Dubstep has got his back. Benkai gonna get the trade off on the Borkum, and Shiba trying to make some noise once again, but the fallback here going to be called in from Paper Rex, not wanting to continue to aggress there on the B site itself. And Dubstep, he knows that that is to come. He's going to try and get the forward position here and maybe capitalize and punish the rotation coming in from the side of Paper Rex. Will he land the shot? They do not line up for him, and Shiba will get the trade.
I love that call though from Paper Rex. Again, the discipline and the know-how to move around the map. But at the same time, see what the opposition has. Saw the Guardian and that crouch down gameplay. It's dangerous against an automatic rifle, but one single shot from the Guardian misses, and that is just an effective time to get that kill from the other side. So Paper Rex, they punished Upstep there. And this is a big chance now to go on the B site. All up the wits though with that Guardian gameplay as well. It's all about the one taps here with a rifle. And he's gonna try his luck. He gets one, but as soon as he pops out of that decay, Mindfreak will pop his shoulder and get that takedown. It's like splatted, and oh dear Jesse Vash. Oh dear Jesse Vash. Just there on A site. All by his lonesome. And I gotta say, Black and Blue, if there's a Jesse Vash guarantee, I gotta give it to Shiba as well. The Shiba warranty. Because he's also very effective with the Hunter's Fury, man.
He certainly is, and not just that. Whatever you give to him in his hands, he can make it work to its fullest potential. A sheriff, a rifle, doesn't matter. He'll get you one and done. Jesse Vash knows that he has to save this. Instead, they don't have enough economy to continue on in the fight in the round. This will be a round in the way of Paper Rex. So for the meantime, keeping that lead down back just to 4. Bren, the largest lead they've had so far in this game has been 5, and let's cut down now to 4. So Paper Rex, they're making some ground here, but they're going to have to continue marching on. This run is not done just yet. The marathon in the final stages of it potentially, but they can definitely extend this into an even bigger Tour de France if Paper Rex can continue on. In this case, Tour de Berlin, because that's where they're going to be going.
Well, as we're cycling through the motions here, Black and Blue, I do just want to check out one of the micro plays that Paper Rex does as a whole in terms of dealing with the Bren economy. No matter what, it really feels like for Paper Rex, they find ways to pick off the opposition. And it all piles up. Just having to rebuy does affect Bren Esports in many big ways. And knowing Paper Rex, who's effective with any kind of arsenal, if they can keep on chipping on away, that's their potential to go for the comeback. But on the flip side, it's still 10 points for Bren Esports. So that's the danger zone for them if they do give up too many rounds on the attacking side. But this time, they have a good advantage. They have the guns. It's only Jesse Vash here with the rifle, as the rest of Bren Esports are on pistols. Dispenser knows the power of the frenzy, and he's going to go for the full auto jacket for Forsaken, playing that wisely, backing on away with the dash. And as Dispenser still gets Forsaken after everything is said and done, the endeavors there for Dispenser gonna fall apart as well. We have the refrag there from Paper Rex, but still A good kill from Dispense anyway. They're gonna be happy to shut down the prodigy of Paper Rex. But this is still Paper Rex with a good advantage, and it's all of the Dubstep right now to navigate, to isolate, to get the opportunity. But this mid hold from Dubstep has not worked so far on the defending side, and PRX will continue hammering on that point.
Not getting much out of that, actually not getting anything at all out of the Blade Storm there. And Jesse Vash will answer back on the Defy. 30 seconds left on the clock, and he finds a second. Okay, a sliver of a hope here for Bren. They bring it to a 2v2, but Benkai, he knows that he's got the back here of Shiba. Now, 1v2, it's back to Borkum Dex. He's done the clutches, he's made it happen in the past. The plant will go down here on the other end of it, but he does not see where exactly. And the rotation here now from Yellow. He's looking to make the clutch happen. He's giving his position away. They now know he's on Yellow. He lands the opening shot on the Benkai, and now it's all on the Borkum and Shiba, using the ultimate here to give him some space concealment to work with, and that shock dart is going to keep him at bay. But as soon as Shiba comes into it, he will be decayed. But now on the tap, can he clutch this out?
Oh, that's the thing, Borkum, though, with low HP. And the question is, does Paper Rex have the right time zone here? They were looking forward to the Berlin time zone, but apparently it's the Borkum time zone instead. And it's now going to be 11-6 as the Viper plays it clutch. And Bren Esports 2 rounds away from sweeping Paper Rex.
What a clutch coming in from Borkum. Him and Wits have been two of the most consistent clutchers. And we have to throw in the hat there, Jesse Vash, of course, after the opening games a while ago, have been so consistent in these clutch situations. Both of these teams Paper Rex have been doing such a good job as well. But as soon as Borkum found that great flick on the Benkai, you knew he was feeling it. And now, around the way from match point, around the way from getting that match to the point where it could be a single one from the perfect sweep here by Bren. Can Bren complete their Cinderella run with a perfect ending to it to put the cherry on the top of this souffle, the ice cream that has been so cold here in Icebox? Bren Esports, they are looking to claim the top title of the best team in Southeast Asia.
And again, it's been a lot of ironies here in VCT SCA, but there's also been a lot of focusing on that's the one. Was that the one series? Bren drops a map, drops the loss, and will we still get absolute perfection from everything else? Will Paper Rex look back into history? Because if you look at PRX matches, many a time in best of threes, they lose map 1, they take map 2, they take map 3. This is best of 5, so they lost map 1, they lost map 2. Can they take map 3 to 5? Can they force out more of this competition? Or has Bren had enough? Will they be able to declare themselves as the kings of SCA? Well, Wits there already screaming up top the mountaintop, and Shiba will go down. Lockdown, though, being built here by Paper Rex. They're going for the push, using that space to their advantage. And not only that, they're even adding more here. That's the Viper Spit. There's the wall as well. And PRX tried to claim territory, but Bren looking to defend.
Bren going here on this defense, trying to go for the retake, and Dubstep finds an opening, picking up Forsaken. That's huge, and Dispenser will follow up on the Benkai as well. It's down to a 5v2. Dispenser down to 1 HP, but he doesn't care. He has no care in the world. Mind Freak here on the corner of this. He might be able to find a pick off on Dispenser, but can he find any more? He will get that one pick off. The Blades here, rather, the pit will be so detrimental, but they're still going to get the pick off. It's all on the Devi, who has a res, but no care in the world. Bren Esports take match point, a single round away from going to Berlin with a perfect run in the grand finals.
Hearts pounding here for Bren Esports, confidence brimming, and the Philippine nation looking to just cheer on the black and yellow as we get Borkum with 20 takedowns and 10 assists. Jesse Bash there with 10 and 9 for him. But really, is this going to be the icing on the cake for Bren Esports? They got the 2-0 versus Alter Ego to secure that shot to Bren Lin. Will they move on, slay their demons, get that confidence going into the world stage by beating Paper Rex 3-0? Or is this the hope and prayer that Paper Rex can snuff out? Paper Rex, a roster like this, you can just step on any kind of happiness you have, any ember of hope, any kind of momentum. But they don't have any more rounds to give here, Black and Blue. No more mistakes available for Paper Rex. It's Brendo holding as close as can be on the B side.
But this is where Paper Rex are so formidable, Dax, time and time again. When they have the lighter economy, when they have these weapons in their hands that technically should be disfavorable to them, they make it happen somehow, some way. And Forsaken has been the leader in that charge, but he's yet to come alive to the same Forsaken that we know. Perhaps today is not their day. But Bren Esports, they're going to try and make things happen. Wits here. He's found the pick. They're 4 kills away from clutching this perfect 3-0 win in the Grand Finals, Dax. Wits bringing it them ever so closer, but the res will come here to divide, and that will be a sliver of a chance here coming from Paper Rex.
Yeah, good cancel on the pickoff, but truly, it's the battle of the Dreamers versus the Dream Crushers. The battle of Bren versus Paper Rex. There's always a chance for PRX every single round. Never count them out. We are doing the counting, and we know that Bren is just 1 victory away from getting the whole shebang. So they are going to try to hold the line here by B-side. Dispenser looking to play close, and Forsaken, he whiffs this time! And how the irony just ticks on away. Bren now win 4. It's all up to Benkai. And the age of SCA, it shifts through the times. But are we in a new era? Are we going to get enlightenment here? Is this going to be Bren Esports heralding a new day? Welcome to the Renaissance as the kings of SCA will be crowned. It's Bren Esports with a clean sweep versus Paper Rex, and history has been made. History has been hyped, and here we go into the next chapter of the region.
The Usurpers claim the throne as the best team in Southeast Asia. They perfect the 3-0 run, retaliating it against Paper Rex. Bren Esports, the pearl of the Valorant Sea, and what a game to conclude that series and conclude this entire Sea Challenger stage. Congratulations once again to the new champions, the new faces of Southeast Asian Valorant, Bren Esports.
Bren,
Okay, first of all, I do want to say one thing. Dax, Renaissance, how long has he been holding on to that? Because that was perfect. And it's exactly what it is, the Renaissance. The first time, these guys have been holding on to the FPS scene for a very, very long time. They've been in it. They've been stalwarts in it. They've come all the way back ever since CS days. They've been together for very long. Now, after what feels like a decade, I think is a decade, they've have their moment in the sun. They go through and they're the best team in Southeast Asia right now, and they're able to claim that title and go to Berlin. What a truly historical moment here for the Philippines, as it's truly the first time I think this region has experienced this level of success anywhere.
you know what? It's just, again, such an unprecedented achievement. And, you know, we're all proud of not only Bren, but of course Paper Rex here. But again, none of us, I think, we're expecting this to go 3-0 in favor of Bren right off the bat. But they made it happen nonetheless. 13-6, guys, in Icebox of all places, wherein we touted Paper Rex to be heavily favored in this matchup. What do you think transpired there, Asra, that helped make Bren achieve this feat?
I think it just goes to how we witnessed them on... It's the same thing that we witnessed on map 1 and map 2. It's that Bren just... They're just perfect right now. It seems like everything that they're communicating, how well their trades are, the information that they're giving, it's all to the playoffs. But then no, that didn't happen. Now we have teams like Paper Rex, Bren, Full Sense, Alter Ego that are stepping up to the plate and showing that there are other teams in Southeast Asia that can represent this region, that can be a contender for that elusive title of King of Sea. And